accident, one thing leads to another. Your injury leads to treatment. Treatment leads to hospital bills. Bills lead to debt. Debt leads to stress. The advocates can help relieve that stress. Having an advocate attorney on your side leads to faster resolutions, fair outcomes, and a peaceful recovery for you. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show live on Thursday, November 6, 2025. Elon Musk is a trillionaire. Did you guys hear this news? Just breaking right now from MSNBC, Tesla shareholders have approved Elon Musk to make $1 trillion in compensation. I mean, what's more shocking? Elon Musk a trillionaire or Jake not wearing a North Face vest? You decide right here on the Monty Show.
Breaking news.
Jake's not wearing a North Face vest. Are you? It's the first thing I noticed. I wanted to not tell you in the pre-show meeting because you tend to get real BH over that stuff. And
BH?
You know, yeah, BH. I'm not going to say that on the show. Have some class. Good God. Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you guys. Your employer comes to you and they say, "Hey, if you can improve our profits 5 times, we'll give you $1 trillion." You in, Jake?
Yep. 100% I'm in. Yeah.
Do you guys even know what I'm talking about? Tesla today. You guys have heard this, right? That Elon Musk is and it's a performance-based salary.
Isn't everything.
But Elon Musk has now the potential to make $1 trillion. I don't even know how many Japanese yen that is. $1 trillion. Tesla announced that more than 75% of shares voted in favor of the pay package. The vote didn't include a 15% of the company that Musk already owns. Musk doesn't make any salary, but approved a pay package comes in the form of stock grants that would give him as much as I'm not even sure I can say this with a straight face. 423.7 million additional Tesla shares over the next 10 years. Those shares could be worth $1 trillion. Do you guys understand? Like, Jake, do you know the game? You know the game he's playing. We've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Monty, I'm not going to take a salary, but give me shares.
Mm-hmm.
Because what does he do then? Well, he's not taking a salary, so what is he not doing? Well, he's not paying income tax. So what is he then going to do? Well, I have $1 trillion worth of Tesla shares coming my way. Well, I can't cash those shares out. Why don't I take a loan for $1 billion on my $1 trillion in Tesla shares? That way it's a loan, and he's got $1 billion. He's got debt load, which is say it with me, it's a tax write-off because it's a liability. The $1 billion loan is a liability. So he's going to make $1 trillion. Let's say he does it and he makes $1 trillion. He's going to make $1 trillion tax-free because he's not getting a salary. There's no income tax. It's not a 401k, so he's not being penalized. It's brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. He is turning income into a liability. Dude, it is incredible. Monty in the hoodie. Yeah, Jake's wearing a hoodie. I'm in quarter zip mode. It is torrentially raining in Seattle this afternoon.
Yeah, moody as hell in Eugene.
It is absolutely pouring rain. And I thought a couple of weekends ago when you were here, Jake, and your dog was crapping in my bathroom, I thought that was going to be crazy. This is crazier rain. It is absolutely wild. Wild. Oh, look, Oak State James already fending off Dana Marie.
Dude.
You guys, and James, you got to stop sending me selfies of yourself. So James is DMing me selfies today.
Who are you trying to be, BDM?
Wow. Look at this picture James sent me today. He's like, this is clearly
a new look, James, huh?
Right. This is clearly outside of a Buc-ee's.
Yeah, I mean that's a new look for you, dude. What did your barber have anything to say about that, or what are we looking at?
Best thing Elon did was Doge. Well, they didn't save any money, so why did you move to Seattle? Because my wife's a baller. My wife's a baller, and my house has equity, and it's for rent now. Could be, yes. It could be. But you guys, listen, if somebody said to you, because now he can truly say he's worth $1 trillion. Not liquid, but his net worth will now be $1 trillion more, which is just insanity.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, it is neat. The guy can make a gazillion dollars. Awesome. Good for you, dude. I mean, that's great. You're making a lot of money and everything's amazing. I'm never going to buy one of your cars and I'm never going to believe you're good for the government. But cool. You want to make a lot of money? That's great.
Well, the government, I think he did himself a big favor by getting out of the administration. And because remember what they said, they're only doing this $1 trillion deal for Elon because they want him to be motivated to focus on Tesla because he's been so distracted with Doge, politics, the rocket stuff, little rocket man, right? Like he's been so distracted. Tesla's really kind of taking a dump. So they say, okay, we're going to give you this $1 trillion package that you have to earn by inflating the value of the company. I wouldn't have voted for it. And thankfully I am no longer a Tesla shareholder. I had a pretty good stake in Tesla that I sold, but Stadium Guy James, is she charting? Is she in your Civic trunk? We'd like to talk to Dana, James. Can you let us talk to Dana? Kind of like The Exorcist. Well, it is. It feels like The Exorcist.
Image and likeness.
Welcome to the P&W, Monty. Thank you. Yeah, it rains a lot here. I don't know if the funniest thing about living in Seattle right now, yeah, it's legitimately $1 trillion. I'm not making this up. Like people are like,
somebody's saying you're making it up.
Yeah, one of my buddies just texted me, "Is it really $1 trillion?" It's really $1 trillion. It is truly $1 trillion, bro. I don't even know, what would you do if your employer's like, "Yeah, we want to pay you $1 trillion over the next decade."
Sign on the dotted line.
I mean, I don't even know what I would. How do you say no to that? Like,
go to dinner and celebrate.
Yeah, don't you be like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it, bud. You got some papers I can sign? What are the fine prints saying?"
Listen, we're gonna need to do this with a special pen, though. I mean, you can't just be a
Jake. Don't talk about auto pen. No auto pen. There it is, right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I legitimately, they're going to pay Elon Musk $1 trillion. That is unbelievable. Over a 10-year period. Do you know how much a trillion? What is that a year? Hey, Siri, what is 1 trillion divided by 10?
It's 100 billion.
He's gonna make 100 billion a year, bruh.
What's 100 bill divided by 365?
That's, hey Siri, what's 100 billion divided by 365?
The answer is approximately 273,972,602.7397
per day for the next 10 years. I'm going to say Buddy's not going to miss a mortgage payment.
Yeah,
right. That is
going
his
to have
potential.
a mortgage.
Yeah, that is his potential income for the next 10 years with this deal.
I don't know. I guess
the pressure must be flipping immense.
I don't know, dude. I mean, is it? I mean, aren't you at a place in life where you have so much money where this is just like, yeah, I just got to do this and it's fine and it's no big deal. Going to be a billionaire either way. Who cares? You know, like, I don't know. I mean, Tesla's his baby, obviously. You know, always has been. But yeah, he's been distracted. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I feel like normally I'd be more excited about this for him. But given the time that we're in and given how many people are struggling, it annoys me on some level.
Tesla shares up today. Are now down. Ooh, ouch. They were at 462. The announcement has tanked at $12. It is now down to $445.91. $445 a share. That's wild. That admittedly, I got out at 210 on Tesla. I wish probably I had held it a little bit longer, but it also tanked after that. So, you know, it's fine. I'm only going to cry a little bit. But yeah, I think it's pretty remarkable that we're paying a guy $1 trillion. That just, by the way, that just broke. Mm-hmm. Travis, it's strictly performance-based. Correct. If Tesla doesn't reach certain milestones, he will not receive the pay package, but he will incrementally receive more stock on the timeline. I think it's brilliant by Elon. I truly do. Seattle was setting Teslas on fire earlier this year over politics. I got news for you, Jesse. They're all over the place here. I saw my first in-person doors open Tesla Plaid in my parking structure last night. And it is, dude, I mean, they're nice cars. I'm just not an EV guy. So, but, you know, that's what I say. But, you know.
Yeah.
Ray McCoy, I know you're big on Texas Tech.
Here we go. We haven't even spoken about it yet.
We're 14 minutes in, and I'm a Texas Tech fan now. Go ahead, read it, Jake.
Quote, I know you're big on Texas Tech. So here, let me tell you why BYU is going to win.
Wait, did you just call me fat?
Yeah. Hey, I know you're fat on Texas Tech, but a few game notes. Bachmeier has poise, arm talent, and he's tough. JoJo Phillips, so 3 wide receivers strong. LJ Martin is playing, and we huddle up. Control pace of play. So you're saying you're going to park the bus and suffocate them by holding the ball?
Look, I appreciate all the BYU fans who have told me how stupid I am this week. Totally get it. You know, the things I say about BYU, Lavelle's rolling over in his grave. Totally get it. I am a POS. I'm a jerk. Everybody hates me. I totally get it. I, for the life of me, and this is just my opinion, I don't know how you look at this defense at Texas Tech and believe that an injured LJ Martin and a quarterback who, when throwing the ball, because I'll be honest with you, looking at Texas Tech's defense last night, and you start looking at the way that Texas Tech contains quarterbacks, if I am Texas Tech, I am selling out to stop the run, even more than I usually do. Go ahead and beat me, Bear. Go ahead and beat me. I am going to contain him. I'm going to set hard edges, especially to the left. I am not going to let him get out defensive line left, offensive set right. Because he tends to, you're certainly, if you're BYU, if you're a BYU fan, you understand you're not running between the tackles in this game. That is just not how you beat Texas Tech. That's not how you attack this defense. But nobody has questioned Bear Bachmeier's poise. He does not have, at this moment, significant arm talent. He is not evolved to that point. And again, because I think you think I'm a Texas Tech fan, I'm going to tell you, I've watched every one of his throws multiple times. It is not that difficult to do. It is on YouTube. They're all over the place. He clearly is more comfortable throwing the ball to his left. There is no doubt about that. And here is my biggest concern, singular biggest concern, singular biggest concern. Can Bear Bachmeier operate under center? And can you run the ball out of gun? Can you run the ball out of shotgun? I think it's a huge question against Texas Tech's defense. That is, without a doubt, the most stout run defense that you're going to see here. It's not even close that this is the best run defense you've seen. And we're going to find out Saturday morning in Lubbock. I believe that game kicks off at 3 a.m. Pacific time.
Make sure you have your coffee ready.
But I think you start looking at the way that Bear Bachmeier plays. If I'm Texas Tech, I am forcing BYU to throw the ball to win. It is just, I don't know why you would do it, why you would attack this game any other way, just based on the things that we have seen and the way that, we've seen Bear mature and grow. I mean, he's ready for the moment. I don't know that he's ready for the ferocity that Texas Tech brings up front. That's the biggest question I have.
I think Bear has to play a mistake-free game for them to win. I mean, that's the only way. I mean, I agree you're not going to run between the tackles, nor should you be trying to be, in my opinion, which BYU seemingly disagrees with. But if I'm BYU, I'm not running between the tackles very often, generally speaking. But then secondly, I think that this game will test Aaron Roderick's play calling ability and his patience, because, on some level, you're going to have to get the Tech defense to honor the pass at some point, because if you can't even do that, then this won't be a close game, right? I mean, if Tech is, if Tech is just playing, man single high safety most of the game, I mean, you're not going to have a great chance in this game. You need them to play some zone. You need them to respect the pass more so you can run it better. And I don't know how you're going to do that other than going over the top early in the game and showing them that it's an actual threat. Because I think even if you were to run the ball successfully in this game, I still don't think that Texas Tech is scared of you going over the top or beating them in that way with the talent that they have in their secondary. So that to me is the biggest concern, is like, okay, great. Let's say it all goes perfect and LJ's got 150, which he won't, but let's say he did, and they had to step up to the line of scrimmage. I mean, do we really sit here and think that Bear Bachmeier is going to be able to find, his guy down the sideline 30 yards down the field? Do we really think? I mean, that's what's going to happen here against this defense in Lubbock. I mean, that's a tall task.
Well, and I also think as a guy that is a younger quarterback, I mean, you just know that most of his big plays have come left. I mean, if you watch the Utah game, every one of his big throws was to the left. And I'm not saying that, hey, he can't throw it right. He is not going to throw it right with consistency. He is so much better doing everything to his left that I think you have to force him to move to his right. And you have to set an edge and make him play to your tendencies. But if you are, I love what Jacob Robinson said this week about earning the ability to rush the passer. That happens when you stop the run. And if you can do that, if you can stop the run against BYU, this is going to be a very long night, morning for the Cougars. Because I think if the Utah game is any indication, everything he does well goes to his left. And I think we learned very quickly that LJ is a guy that has to be healthy enough to carry the ball in this game often. I mean, it's so crystal clear that you have to have the ability to get the ball to two guys, LJ Martin, both with the run and the pass, and Parker Kingston short middle. And if you can do that, you're going to You're going to win games. My biggest fear for Bear Bachmeier is you're not going to be able to run the ball out of gun. And all they do with Bear, and we've gotten into this thing in football now where all we want to do is be shotgun, shotgun, shotgun. Let's get in shotgun. I'm telling you, it just exposes your tendencies and your weaknesses, and you provide that tape to a defense the caliber of Texas Tech. Like if I'm sitting here looking at Bear Bachmeier film last night and LJ Martin film last night, and I'm watching their tendencies in gun, I'm just a dumbass that does a talk show. What do you think guys at Texas Tech are going to do? I think it's going to be very, very difficult. So I would love to see them. I would love to see them work in sets where Bear is under center. I just don't know that they will do that.
Yeah, I don't know that he's there yet. And that's what I'm saying. Hey, maybe, I mean, I'll even say this. I'm happy to be wrong on Monday. I am. Like, if they win this game, I will be incredibly happy for BYU. I mean, it would be, to me, this is the most important game Kalani Sitake has ever coached. You know,
well,
I think it's
for both sides, though, Jake. I think this is without question the biggest game for both these coaches. I think it's the biggest game in the history of Texas Tech football.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have a doubt about that. And if Texas Tech loses this game, I don't know that they're going to lose again, but their season's over. If they lose this game, and I know a lot of Texas Tech fans told me I don't know what I'm talking about, but I was looking at the numbers this morning on playoff percentages, and you already look that Texas Tech is right now 51.6% opportunity to go to the playoff. What does that number do if they lose? Doesn't it go to 0? I mean, you'll have no chance to make the playoff if you lose this game. It would be absolutely devastating to the current incarnation of Texas Tech football if they lose this game.
Mm-hmm.
And
absolutely.
I hope it doesn't happen. I truly hope it does not happen, because I think you look at these percentages and you see BYU at 74.1 and you see Texas Tech at 51.6. Man, you lose this game. It's devastating. It's absolutely devastating. I mean, you look at the Utes with 2 losses, 15%. That they've got to be perfect. And at a minimum, you're going to have to win out. And I don't even know Texas Tech can win out and they still won't get in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. It is. I really, if Joey loses this game, I think it's, if I'm Joey, I'm coaching like I'll get fired if I lose this game. Like, that's the seriousness level that I would have been treating this week with. Not to say that they weren't taking it seriously, but just personally internally, I would have been like, yeah, if I lose, it's a must-win game. If I lose this game, like, I should just be done. Like, you got to win this game. This is a signature game. This is at home, at your place, against a good football team, a team that is capable of beating you. But again, if you're a college football playoff worthy team, you will win this game at your place. It's just one of those games for Texas Tech.
I think BYU fan that hears me talk about BYU believes that I don't like BYU, or it's not a like or hate thing. This is what I've seen them do this year, what I've seen in film study, what I've seen, the tendencies that are emerging. This team doesn't beat Texas Tech without a significant contribution from LJ Martin. And BYU fan wants to talk about JoJo coming back. Well, I'm telling you right now, what you cannot do in this game if you're BYU is throw balls up and hope that they're caught. You go back to the West Virginia game or the Colorado game, You go back to some of the deep balls that Bear hit early in this year, there was a lot of hope in those throws. His win has been they're not asking him to read defenses. And looking at it last night and looking at just the way that Bear goes about his plays, go back and watch the Utah game. If you want to see exactly what I'm talking about, go back and watch the Utah game and just watch Bear's head and watch. And what you're going to see is that he's not reading defenses. He's reading his wide receiver. That is it. Like, and everybody got so boned over Bear jumping over the BYU or the Utah safety. Do you know how close that was to an absolute catastrophic injury? That you don't want to see that out of Bear. I'm just going to continue to tell you, you don't want to see that out of him. And I know that excites people, and I understand why. You don't want Bear Bachmeier taking hits. You do not want Bear Bachmeier jumping over safeties where he lands on the ground and then gets his legs taken out by another defender. You just don't want to see that. And if you look at the first touchdown he throws to Chase, bro, that is just simply turning and throwing the football. He's not reading, which is fine. It's fine. But don't get this twisted, BYU fan. It works because it is very simple. It works because LJ had a massive game. You're not going to be able to run the ball inside on Texas Tech. That'll be, if you want to watch this game for a tendency or a something, how many yards are made in inside of the tackle box? How many yards can BYU get LJ Martin into that counter play out of the shotgun against an elite defensive line?
Less than 50.
That might be, if it's more than 50, BYU will blow out Texas Tech. If BYU gains 50 yards between the tackles, they will blow out Texas Tech. Very simply put, if they run for 50 yards between the tackles, BYU will win this game by 17 points. But nobody has done that to this defense. And when you look at the counterplay that LJ's had so much success on, gun handoff to LJ. He runs inside angle off of the left shoulder of the guard in the A gap. Right? Center, A gap, guard, B gap, tackle. Right? He's running off of that left shoulder of the guard and then cutting back, because BYU has a very dynamic offensive line that moves very well. But you didn't see that against Utah. You didn't see that counter against Utah. Why is that? Because they have very aggressive, mobile linebackers. Same thing at Texas Tech, but I think a more physical defensive line and much more one of the things that was really disappointing about Utah's defense, where they were very over aggressive. Again, dropping your head and allowing Bear to jump over you is being very over aggressive and really technique shit is what that is. You're not going to get that from Texas Tech in the biggest game that I think they probably have ever played, is what this will amount to. That's how this game's going to be won and lost, right? That is the beginning and the end of this, right? But I think BYU has to continue to be very simple when Bear throws the ball. And again, here we are on Thursday at 3:30 in the afternoon Mountain Time. He will throw the majority of his stuff left, and they will use that play. And here's another thing you can watch. Is there room behind the defensive line, but in front of the linebackers, to throw that football? Because again, if I am Texas Tech, I am selling out to stop the run. He is not going to beat me running the ball, Bear, because it's really the only thing he does at an elite level. is he runs the ball well. And I can tell you one thing, you go watch that Texas Tech defense, they hit the fucking quarterback. They don't care. They do not care. If you're going to read option them, they're going to hit you. We have seen that. Watch the Utah film on the Texas Tech defense, repeatedly hitting the quarterback, and not lightly. All right, Bear has taken, I think, 3, from what I saw, I think he's taken 3 really mollywop kind of hits. 2 of them were in the Utah game. And he probably should have come out of the Utah game for a snap. He did not. But I'm very curious to see how much punishment he absorbs against that Texas Tech front. Very curious. Okay, I'll stop talking now because I feel like I've just run on. But
well, I just think I'm just sitting here reading all the BYU fans telling themselves stories about how BYU also has nothing to lose. You know, really a 5-point dog. BYU can pitch like that lefty who pitches backwards. Game plan's wide open. No,
what is, wait a minute. Explain that to me. What does that mean? BYU can pitch backwards. What does that mean? I truly have no idea what that means. BYU is not deep in a playbook. I can tell you they have probably 7 to 9 sets where they're really comfortable and they feel like they can execute any play out of those 7 to 9 sets against any defense. So I don't know and I don't know who said that.
This guy here, Ray McCoy.
Well, right here, he's telling you what he doesn't know. You're not passing first with Bear Bachmeier. If your idea is to come into this game and have him throw the ball all over the field, one, he's never done that, not one time this entire season. They tried that. They wanted to go much more aggressive passing at Arizona, and how did that work out? Because the one thing we haven't seen BYU do yet, or the one situation they haven't put themselves in yet, much to their credit, is they have not been behind multiple scores and had to abandon the run to throw the football. That we have not seen. And I don't know that we'll see that this weekend because I think this is going to be a very close game. I think it's going to be a very close game. But anybody telling you to pass first and run second, you're out of your fucking mind. Because
I think BYU fans lean on the Iowa State game, right? I think BYU fan wants to say, oh, well, didn't Bear bring them back from behind against that Iowa State defense? And it's like, yeah, but you can't seriously be comparing Iowa State's defense with all the injuries. And, you know, I mean, I think generously saying that defense in totality is at 50%, maybe, in that game. You can't seriously be considering, you know, comparing those two. I mean, Tech's defense is just superior. It's more talent, it's more discipline, it's faster. Like,
I don't even think it's that. I think what it is when you look at where Bear fits in, and you start asking yourself, okay, well, what do we know about Bear's ability right now? We are very in the passing game. We're going to get rid of the football. We're going to get rid of the football. There's a reason he is, when you look at PFF, I think his passing grade is 81st in the country, which for a freshman is not bad at all. It's not bad at all. But one of the things that you see is he is a much higher rated runner than he is a passer. He is a 79 runner and he is a 74 passer. Well, there's a reason for that because he's a really good, what's the right way? He is still an awkward guy, an awkward athlete running the ball, but he makes the right read running the ball, right? He knows when to let it go. He knows when to tuck it and run. He's very confident in his ability to run the football. So he does that well. But you start looking at some of his game breakdowns and you start looking at the balance in the offense. Like if we look at, and I think, hey, listen, Iowa State is a very good example of this. And I think it's really important that you understand this difference, okay? You look at Iowa State, 35 attempts 62%, right? 307 yards. But if we really get into that game and you really start looking at what we learned about Bear in that game, I think one of the things that's very clear is that play underneath over the middle is his exit route. That is where he throws that ball underneath. I think that is without question, no doubt about it. That is his bailout. And I think that when we start looking at how you reconcile who he is as a passer, even in the Iowa State game, go look at the big plays. Go look at the plays where he succeeded. A lot of his success was left, and a lot of his success was field position because the BYU defense did a great job. After that initial score, I think on the first throw of the game, if I remember right, where Beck hits that receiver down the left-hand side, and he's wide open, and it's a great throw, and okay, cool. After that score, look at the field position. One, you tied the game. Do you guys remember the first BYU touchdown of the Iowa State game? Well, it was a running play off right tackle. Touchdown, right? And then you're now down 10-7. They score, so you're down 17-7. You're down one touchdown, right? You get a field goal, you're 17-10. Rocco runs it in. I think Rocco Beck scored that 24-10 touchdown, right? And so you're down 24-10. What immediately changed? Well, we immediately started throwing the ball left, and we immediately saw Parker Kingston coming out of groups, and the route tree changed dramatically. And then what did we see to take the lead? So you got a touchdown, you got a field goal, and how did they take the lead? Bears started running the ball. 27-27, we're tied. What's he do? He throws a Hail Mary that should have been intercepted, and Parker Kingston makes a fucking unbelievable catch on a ball that had no business being completed, but it was. Don't take it away from him, right? And then what happened? And what happened when it was 34-27? What happened? BYU picked off a play on an unbelievable interception. Runs it back. BYU blows out Iowa State. BYU fan wants to tell you that all of a sudden, oh, Bear just threw it all over the place, and we just were, well, that's not what happened. Go look at the Parker Kingston touchdown. And it is truly, he is on, because mechanically, here are his flaws mechanically. He locks his front leg when he throws on his front leg. What does that mean? Have you guys ever heard that? Lock leg thrower. He's a lock leg thrower off the front leg. So the ball is always released right here. So what happens to the ball? The ball goes up a little bit before it goes out. So when he throws that touchdown, where Kingston makes a great catch, the ball's short and behind Kingston. And it's on the wrong shoulder because Parker's got the guy. He's got inside left leverage. The guy is right here. The ball is thrown right here. Kingston makes a great adjustment, makes the play. The ball needs to be like here. And it's just not, because he's a front leg. He's a locker of his front leg. And so the ball comes out late. Does this mean that he's a bad quarterback? Not by any stretch of the imagination. But to your point, BYU fan wants to tell you that Bear Bachmeier threw the ball all over the field and we came back, and it's not what happened. That's not what happened. You made your field goals. LJ ran for that touchdown. Bear ran for that touchdown. And you caught a Hail Mary that was a 50-50 ball at best. And I can't play the highlight for you because it's copyrighted. But if you go back and look at the Parker Kingston touchdown, not the one in the back of the end zone, that was a great throw. But if you go look at that 50-50 Hail Mary, Texas Tech is probably at least breaking that up.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You're not going to get those kind of plays this week. That's my concern, is that
I would agree.
And I also think that the Texas Tech defense is probably twice as aggressive as Iowa State ever was.
Yeah. And I just think Bear is not capable of operating at this point in his maturity where he is. And I give Aaron Roderick a lot of credit for diagnosing this. He's not capable, in my opinion, mentally at this point, Bear, of rolling pocket right, pause, let the ball go. That's not who this dude is. That is just not who this dude is. So I much more feel like he has to tailor his game plan to what Bear does well. That throw right behind the linebacker there, that throw is only open because, one, you have a running back that's a threat in the flat, right? So that weak side linebacker can't squeeze Kingston. And then you're sending usually Chase Robertson, whoever your chosen tight end is, you're sending Chase on a go route, and you're sending the tight end on kind of an in route, right? So that's going to take the corner there. That's going to hold the safety up here. And now Parker Kingston's open in the middle of the field. And I think we've seen that 3 times that I can remember go for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. So I give Aaron Roderick a lot of credit for the design and understanding what the offense he has to build to be around Bear's abilities. And most of Bear's ability problems are in his mind. He just has not grown yet and matured yet. That's all I'm saying. Aaron, oh, look at that. Aaron Wilson for $2. America's favorite mailman. Aaron, you're the resident Texas Tech expert. How you feeling, dude?
Yeah.
Like, how are you feeling about this game?
Yeah, by the way, how's the mail route too, dude? How's things?
Yeah, we haven't seen much of you, man. We have not seen much of you. So good to see you, man. And I'm happy to have the conversation. Christian Argyle, dude passing all over the field last game. No, he wasn't. Bro, I watched every one of his throws last night.
Do you guys watch different games? Like, do you guys literally there's one game on TV that the kid plays in every week, and you're out here saying he was passing all over the field.
Go get on YouTube. Get on YouTube. And if you go, or if you get on, I'm sure CBS Sports, ESPN, I mean, everybody's got
YouTube is the best place to get all of his throws. Go and find them. It's not hard to find, dude.
And I'm just telling you, if you look at their plays, even the Kingston touchdown, the route on the Kingston touchdown is a great route, in my opinion. The scheme of that play is really good. But you look at how open he is. I mean, there's not a cyclone. And again, they're injured. I don't care.
Doesn't matter. It's guys on the field, right?
It's who's on the field. Depth is part of being a really good football team. Parker Kingston runs an up and left in the back of the end zone, and Bear put it on him. It's a really good throw. So, but is that throwing the football all over the field? No, he did not throw the football all over the field. He did not. And again, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to continue to tell you, LJ Martin, that run where he jumps back inside it through the tackle gap to tie the game at 7, that was the run that really set the tone for their offense, because it showed that you could run
that against Tech.
That's my concern. I think they're going to have to play much further on the outside. BYU will.
I just don't know why the game plan damn well better be we're gonna run a zone running scheme concept to the edges of the field. We are going to take our offensive line and we're going to shift that thing after the snap. We're going to get our guys to run to the left or to the right, and we're going to go man on man. And we're going to let LJ figure out where that gap is. I want nothing to do with Texas Tech and that defensive line, just man on man, go straight forward. I want to be playing these guys on the run, hat on a hat, let LJ find the gap. That's how I'd be running the football in this game. And make them prove that they can still stop you. Make them prove they can. Bro, if they can stop you that way, then you're going to have to figure it out in game. But I just think with the talent that BYU has, it would behoove them to go that route instead of just saying, hey, put him under center. We're just going to turn around, hand it off, and run straight ahead. That's not, to me, I just don't think that that's the way you want to go here, both because I think you'll get beat, that defensive line will beat your offensive line. But secondly, LJ can't take that kind of a beating the whole game. You can't expect that out of him this week. Like, you can't.
This is the Parker Kingston touchdown in the back of the end zone. Look how open he is. Great throw. Look how open he is. He ran right by everybody. They never went with him. So I say this because, again, what side of the end zone is he on? Right?
Here's on the left side.
That's Bear Bachmeier throwing the ball to his left, and he's comfortable doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to tell you that's a problem, because I think it's good design and good understanding of who your players are. But again, I also think when you start to understand how this offense is working right now, I mean, they dominated Iowa State up front. The Bear Bachmeier 27-24 touchdown where he ran it in is unbelievable. And the other thing is, like, if we're going to say that the Hail Mary he threw up was only because he had a blitz in his face, let's understand how that happened, though. Because I watched that play a bunch of times. The problem with that theory is, and I don't even disagree that he had pressure, and I'm going to take a screenshot of this. I want you to understand that the problem with that theory is, A, multiple BYU blockers missed the blitz pickup. So what does that tell you? And I think this is important if this image would ever load. What does this photo right here tell you? This is the what I call the Hail Mary, or at least what I wrote down as a Hail Mary. Well, 12 and 20 at the top on 31. First of all, he's not getting pressure when he throws the ball. That is not a guy in his face. He had plenty of time to release the ball. Where's he releasing the ball from? He's releasing it off his back leg, and look at the trajectory of his elbow. He's throwing that ball up in the air. And the biggest problem is you have two guys who were lined up on the wrong side of the formation. Wrong side of the formation completely. And again, I'm going to tell you, and I know you don't like it and it probably pisses you off, but again, I'm going to tell you, they're lined up on the wrong side of the formation. What does that mean when I say that? What that means is Bear didn't read this blitz pre-snap. That's what should scare you. He did not, because the blitz, I'll be honest with you, the blitz is not disguised. And I told you yesterday on the show, he is not a very good, you do not have to disguise Bear Bachmeier to beat him on blitz.
Facts.
And these are the things that scare you. And I'm going to show this to you. And let me see if I can get the pre-snap for you. Because again, this is all on YouTube. I hope that you understand that. This is all on YouTube. It is not hard to get. Let me show you that play pre-snap, because I think this is incredibly important to understand. This is what not disguising your blitz because you don't respect the quarterback looks like. Okay? And this is not I'm not insulting Bear Bachmeier. I am simply explaining to you why I am leaning Texas Tech. Look at the pre-snap. Look at the tight end, number 20 on the, where it says 3rd and 6 on the field there on the 3rd. You see him offset? He is off the line of scrimmage. The problem is the blitz is coming from the guy at the top of the screen. This is pre-snap. He's not moving. What should Bear Bachmeier have done here? He should have moved his tight end over. Right? He should have moved his tight end over, and then this never happens. This never happens.
So go back. So look at how bad the back gets beat here, though. right?
It is really bad.
So,
it is really, really bad.
And I just, so go back to the other one, the pre-snap one. Look at the defender. Look at his stance.
He's
like
coming.
He's not hiding. He's not. There's no like, oh yeah, like I'm definitely gonna chip Parker here. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not even looking at Parker Kingston. You're sitting here inside the hash as a DB when there's only two guys on that side of the field. This is my point about Bear. To your point, like he's not yet reading, right? He's just
Correct.
making sure that he's, because what I guarantee you, what Bear Bachmeier saw here, he didn't see the blitzer to his left. What he saw was this group of, if you look at the Big 12 logo on the field, this group of four linebackers and the three linebackers in the DB here, right? Yeah. Don't mind the guy that's standing by the official. That's just a safety. But this group of four guys here is what Bear's looking at. He's not looking to his left.
And look what happens.
Look what
happens to those four guys. You have 31 who's blitzing clearly. Look at 47, right? 47 is standing on the blue arrows where it says 3rd and 6 and those two blue arrows. You see that right there? Where does he go? He goes right into the A gap. Right? So he's not the guy you have to worry about. Very clearly here, you needed to move that tight end. So what happens to the throw that you said was a great throw? Right? I'm just the asshole. This is a great throw. It is short. And Parker Kingston makes an unbelievable play to bring that in and have it be successful.
But we're not hating. This is what I'm talking about with BYU fan. This is what bothers me.
Nobody's hating.
We're not hating, dude. This is the conversation about BYU winning this game. Like, don't come to this show if you want us to gloss Bear Bachmeier. He's a good quarterback.
Or any other quarterback.
Yeah, or any other quarterback. But in this case, Bear. Like,
I'm not kissing anybody's ass, dude. This is what I am telling you is all I am illustrating with this. I'm worried about Bear Bachmeier's inability to read a defense, make pre-snap adjustments, because I don't care who you are. If you are a starting quarterback, you need to be able to move your back and your tight end to give you protection. And the biggest problem is when you leave your tight end on the right in a clear, putting him in the clear. The biggest issue is now your tight end overran the blitz pickup because he was late and he had to diagnose it himself. And so Bear winds up throwing off of his back leg. And again, this is why I pulled this clip. Yes, he threw off his back foot.
But here's the thing. Again.
What is off? And again, hold on, Zach. What is off base about what I have said here? I'm here for this argument today, you guys. I am locked and loaded. I have watched every one of his snaps. I have watched every one of his snaps multiple times. I understand his tendencies. I know his strengths and I know his weaknesses. And I am telling you, I have covered the game of football for 30 years. He should have moved. He should have adjusted to that. And what he didn't need to do was throw off his back foot. What should he have done here?
Checked Parker Kingston to a slant because the safety was blitzing and the field would have been wide open.
Could have done that, or slide up in the pocket. You've got time. 31 is so over aggressive on the blitz. You have a route. I think it's 3 yards. That gap between the right tackle and number 26 and number 12 is 3 yards. According to ChatGPT last night. It's 3 yards. He could have slid up and thrown the ball because my guess is Parker would have gone out. He was going to, just based on the way he ran the route, he was going to fade to the left side of the end zone. So if you throw that ball to the middle left of the end zone, that's a touchdown. But I am telling you right now, Bear Bachmeier is a hell of a quarterback. He is a really good quarterback who I believe is going to have some struggles in Lubbock because as much as I believe this is a historic moment for BYU football, this defense at Texas Tech is really, really good. It is really, really good. No time have I said that Bear Bachmeier sucks or he can't play or.
No, the issue is that people don't want to have just an honest conversation. I feel like anytime, and this isn't unique to BYU fan, right? I mean, this is Utah fan. This is all kind of fan, right? Anytime you point out the fact that, hey, like the pressure was obviously coming from the left, you had enough protection on your right to get the job done, to give you enough time to get a clean throw off, and you just didn't identify the pressure coming from the left. But you got bailed out because your boy made a play, and that's totally fine. But that play's not going to be made against Tech.
And why don't you run the football in that situation? Like there's so much, it's just inexperience.
Yeah, which again, it's fine. He's a freshman.
He's growing, clearly. But what I'm telling you is Tech's not going to give you that opportunity. Texas Tech is not going to give you the opportunity to throw a fly ball that is well short. Thankfully, it was short enough that it gave Parker time to make a play on, because it was up and it was short, and it gave Parker time to adjust. He's a fantastic receiver. He's a guy that does not get talked about enough. I will tell you that. And I think it is very interesting, because the other thing I think you're seeing, and it's pretty routine now, is especially, I would say, if I look at, I don't think he changed a single play against Colorado. I think they started experimenting with it in West Virginia. And then Arizona, Parker made a lot of mistakes in the Arizona, or Bear made a lot of mistakes in the Arizona game, especially in the first half, and he just essentially stopped throwing the ball. But that was the rain delay game, and in the Utah game, I think he checked out of 3 plays. But in the Iowa State game, he just didn't check enough. And again, to my point, it's the mental maturity that a freshman brings to you. And especially a freshman who you didn't drill all summer long on things like reading defenses and optioning and checking out of and moving tight ends and backs. That's what he didn't get, because all of that time and all that preparation was going into Jake Retzloff. And then sex happened, and Jake's at Tulane, and Bear Bachmeier's your starter. It's not like we're saying it's his fault, but what I'm telling you is you cannot make the mistakes he made against Iowa State. He's got to clean a lot of that up. To win this game, Bear's got to clean a lot of that up and be significantly better pre-snap than he was against Iowa State, because you're just not going to compete. If he does not make better adjustments pre-snap, they will get blown out in Lubbock. That is almost certainly going to happen. That is simply and positively not the case. Got bad news for you. That is not the case. That is that you absolutely, it's not, you can't have film study in the off season. It's mandatory. Why do you think every BYU quarterback goes and visits John Beck? I'm sorry, who's John Beck? Oh, the former BYU quarterback, an NFL quarterback. What's he doing now? Oh, that's right. He's one of the foremost throwing coaches in the world for quarterbacks, and him and a guy named Tom House. Do you think John Beck and the BYU coaches talk? I think they do. I'm going to guess they do. Do you think those iPads they give them are just loaded with porn, or... No, guy, they give them iPads. They give them iPads with certain tape and film. And did you know, I know this is crazy. Did you know that those iPads are connected to the cloud? I know. Holy shit. You mean you can update those iPads? What?
Well, listen, I think this is the best comment we've had of the day right here, dude. Right here. Crazy that Retzloff's wiener really thwarted his QB trajectory, huh?
First of all, Geoff, dude, good to see you. Second of all, this is a national championship caliber team with the Jake Retzloff we've seen this year at Tulane.
Final.
This team would be, if Jake Retzloff was your quarterback, I would be picking BYU to win this game. Because he's just more experienced. He is the way that you beat a defense like Texas Tech is you are quick and you understand what that defense is trying to do to your offense. And Bear will not be in a position pre-snap to understand and diagnose their scheme and their disguise. Because it's actually really, really well done. I didn't think I would say this fast about Texas Tech. That defense actually moves and flows to the football with discipline and efficiency. It is really impressive to watch. Watch how disciplined they are with gap assignments. They don't overrun gaps. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Okay.
Oh boy.
We need to address this.
What?
I don't know who this is who's got a screenshot of your car with an OSU logo and the name, a member on this channel, the Stadium Gay James, have a charting group. I'll be back. Bro, I don't know who you are, but you are putting in a lot of effort right now.
That is a lot of effort. That is a whole lot of effort. You know, it is, this is a hater account. Oh my God. This is a hater account that's been named the Stadium Gay James for a long time. Okay. Wow. Funny enough, Retzloff's stats were better than his stats in the Alamo Bowl, and he got benched. I don't know. Well, okay, sure. That's not me. Are you sure? Wait, are you sure? Are you sure? Okay. Mark Hales, hello. Bear has erected his game to exceed the expectations.
All I have to say, BYU fan, is you better show up on Monday. One way or the other. One way or the other, you better be here. Because I'm just telling you guys, you're all in here on your high horse for Bear Bachmeier. Guy hasn't played a defense as good as this one in a minute.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, bro. We will see what happens.
We'll see. I mean, I think Bear Bachmeier has a chance for it's all said and done to be the best quarterback that's ever played at BYU. He's got the courage for it, which is half the battle, right? I mean, having the courage and the chutzpah I think Bear's got a lot of upside. A lot of upside. John says, I will be here Monday for better or for worse, but I want an apology when we win. Why would I apologize to you? What apology for what? Tech hasn't played Bear Bachmeier. So you can't be serious. You're not being serious, I don't think. I think when you look at the quarterbacks Texas Tech has faced, and it's the one that I always talk about, it's the loss at Arizona State and Sam Leavitt. And Sam Leavitt played exceptionally well in that game. And Sam Leavitt didn't run the ball a whole lot in that game. And I think he was only sacked 4 times. But we'll see, man. The proof is in the pudding. If and I think this game, after watching a lot of it, I think this game it's probably won and lost somewhere in the third quarter. Somebody will make a mistake in the third quarter, and I'll be really curious to see. Like, for instance, in the West Virginia game, the quick hitter touchdowns that BYU got over the top against West Virginia, I'm really curious to see if those are there against Texas Tech. I have a hard time believing that Texas Tech is going to give a quick in, wide open look, right? So I much more model Texas Tech's, what Texas Tech brings based on what I saw against Utah. And I think some of the throws against Utah were very good. But again, what Bear Bachmeier does that breaks your back is he runs the football when you're thinking he's going to throw it. And he was able to gash Utah, who just simply did not tackle well. The 24-14, I think it was 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter when Bear pulled that ball down on a design run. Texas Tech's not giving you that touchdown. I mean, he's just not. You know, Morton couldn't move the ball versus Utah. Yeah, my biggest concern if I'm a Texas Tech fan is Baron Morton. I think Texas Tech has a quarterback problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've talked about that at length. This is how I know we're probably doing the show the right way. Texas Tech fan thinks we hate Texas Tech. BYU fan now thinks we hate BYU. And we're a Utah show. So I feel like
we're SEC homers. So,
you know, I feel like we're probably doing it right. I think that Baron Morton's a huge problem. Now, the problem for BYU is I think their weakness on defense is over the top. I think that we've seen a good part of the season now that you can beat BYU deep. And boy, does Baron Morton love throwing deep balls. And we'll see. BYU secondary, they're ball hawks. I mean, they got great hands. They aren't generally over aggressive, so they're usually in the right spot. The other thing I love about BYU's secondary, they're not on the ground a lot. They're not guys that lay all over the place, or you don't see them diving in desperation very often. Like BYU's defense is so disciplined, and those guys in the secondary, they understand pre-snap tendencies. They're well studied. They're well prepared. So they're very rarely out of position. They're very rarely out of position, which has allowed them to, frankly, make a couple of just sensational plays in the secondary. You know, like it is going to be very interesting to see. See, Kurt, it's stuff like Bear is better than Manning. I know you're trolling. We get it. You know, we played bad. BYU wasn't good. Literally every team that loses to BYU. I don't know if that's true. I mean, Iowa State was terrible. And frankly, it's why I keep saying that BYU's just a better team than Utah. Utah's defense did not tackle in their two biggest games of the year, the BYU game and the Texas Tech game. They did not tackle in either one of those games. Right now, here's a question. How many penalties does Texas Tech have in this game? Because
shouldn't be many.
Some of the penalties that they took, even like in the Arizona State game, you only had 5, but they were really stupid penalties. Like just like, I need to fart, so I'm going to get out of my stance and have a false start. Like, what are you even listening for? Like, just really stupid penalties. And it's haunted Texas Tech all season long. I mean, I go to discipline and mental toughness. And a lot of times in these bigger games, like, sure, you're not going to have a lot of penalties against the K-States of the world. K-State's not very good. Right? You're just not very good.
Keeping the book right now, we ass.
Yeah, I go look at the Houston game. How do you have 8 penalties for 65 yards against Houston? And you were really never in danger of losing that game. 8 penalties and 65 yards? And that's what's going to be. That's one of the things. If you're a BYU fan, count the penalties on Texas Tech, because Texas Tech will give you an opportunity. They'll help you a lot. You know, TJ Beck, we love to beat deep, Monty. Hey, man.
Bro.
Randy Riding, Tech will cover in the first half and not look back. It's going to be interesting to see. I can't see, I still can't find a way that, and I'll look at BYU's defense tonight. I can't find a way that Texas Tech scores 30 points in this game.
They're not scoring 30 points on a team that has had 2 weeks to prepare for them and has given up 30 points twice in the last 2 years. They're not scoring 30 in this game, dude.
And it's not like they don't play anybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
come on.
They are.
It's 27-21 Tech, in my opinion. I think that there will be one Bear Bachmeier interception in this game. I think he will on a 50-50 ball, very similar to the one we were discussing. I don't think it'll be maybe it's a terrible throw, but I don't think it will be. I think it'll be Tech making a good play to go and get the interception, not just like a gift of an interception.
Sure.
And I think that, there's a really good chance that, Baron Morton takes a couple of vicious hits in this game. And I'm not confident that he survives the game. If he doesn't survive the game, BYU will walk away easily in this game. If he does survive the game, then we're having a different conversation.
Yeah, we'll look at it. I think I want to see who's the leading tackler for BYU's defense. Because I think Glasker's got to have multiple tackles for loss in this game, because he is when he's in the backfield, they're a different defense. He is so good. Isaiah Glasker is just that guy that every defense wants.
Stay hard.
And no offense wants to face, because he's just really disruptive. And he's not healthy. You can clearly see that Glasker's battling some stuff. But who isn't this time of year, right? Jacob Rodriguez is battling a bunch of stuff. But Isaiah Glasker's just that guy that creates so many opportunities for other guys on that defense, because he's just so damn disruptive. And that's who your leading tackler is. It's got to be the linebackers in this game. It cannot be the secondary. How many pass defenses are we going to get from BYU's secondary? That scares you a little bit, because again, when I start looking at some of the numbers that really stand out to me is how many opportunities are you going to give a guy like Baron Morton to throw the ball 20, 25 yards down the boundary? Because that's going to beat you. If you're BYU and he is consistently having the opportunity to get the ball down the field, especially on the outside, that's not good. That's not good. And that's something that I really worry about. And now, is BYU going to hold Texas Tech under 200 yards a game for the game passing? No, I think BYU averages 189 yards a game passing on defense, giving up. You're probably going to give up 275, I would think. But you look at Texas Tech. Texas Tech gives up 197 yards a game through the air. But what they don't do is give up yards on the ground. Do you guys understand? This is by far, it's not close, the best run defense in the Big 12. 74 yards a game. They give up 74 yards a game. Does Aaron Roderick, the offensive coordinator at BYU, have the stones to keep running the ball? And can they find schemes and formations that allow LJ to get outside? And it's why the other day, a couple of people were like, oh, let's go jumbo. And you can't go jumbo here. You can't, because you can't have one of your wide receivers off the field to go two tight ends and another back, or you need to be able to collapse an edge rusher and allow LJ to get outside, because you're not running between the tackles in this game. You're not running between the tackles. I just think if you're doing that, if that's your game plan, man,
good luck.
That's something that I would really be worried about. And we'll see. I mean, I love this. It's going to be close. It is going to be close. And you have disruptive defenders on both sides of the ball. And I think the Kelly Glasgow combination, the Isaiah Glasgow is just such a ball breaker. I mean, you guys understand that this dude, he's got 2 sacks. He's got 34 tackles, 19 solos. For a guy that's used all over the formation. He's used in the middle, edges. They blitz him. He's an excellent run defender. He is really, really disruptive. And I think it's going to be really fun to see how he plays. And because you look at their bigger games and you look at the way that BYU's defense wins games, it's guys making big plays. It's guys taking interceptions you have no business intercepting. But you hand fought a guy and you won that, and then you took it to the house to seal the Iowa State game. When you had no business making that play. BYU's defense is opportunistic. They're not going to get blown out in this game. I have a hard time seeing that.
They're definitely covering the 10.5.
I would think so. I would think so. And it'll be interesting to see, like, how disruptive is David Bailey in this game? How disruptive is, your best Jacob Rodriguez, who I think is top 5 linebackers in the country. Who has a better game, Rodriguez or Glasgow? Bailey, or who's going to have the game? Who's going to make the play that ultimately changes the game? That's what I'm really curious about. So I could go on and on and on. I love it. I love these matchups. I love the way these games are played. And I think
it'll be a good one.
It's going to be incredibly close. It is going to be really, really close. And if BYU wins this game, it will be historic. It's certainly the biggest game of Kalani's career.
Yes.
And maybe post 84, this could be if they win this game, this could be the biggest win since the national championship.
Yeah, you were on the precipice of going to the CFP last year. Just couldn't finish it.
Couldn't close it.
Seems like this team's got a little bit better handle on it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. I think I worry about Bear's ability to, because I really wanted him on that Iowa State play to run the ball, slide up if you really had to throw it, but you had a lot of real estate where you could have run that ball. That's what I'm curious, Aggie says, Jack Kelly, big play this weekend, healthy after the bye helps a ton. The bye is huge.
Clutch.
It came at a fantastic time. Really looking time, and a really good looking time. And I think when we get into, ultimately, when we roll up here Monday and we're talking about the aftermath of this game, Jack Kelly's probably going to have a real big spot on this show, because I think their defense is better when he's better. When him and Glasgow are on the field, disrupting, doing what Jay Hill asked them to do, BYU's defense is really tough. And my biggest question again is going to be, can Baron Morton get the ball down the field to the boundary, to those outside receivers? Because that's where BYU is susceptible defensively. That'll be the biggest thing. BYU will come out in a wishbone and eat all the tortillas.
Well, that's one way to go about it.
Okay. If this game goes to overtime, just put the linebackers from both teams in the middle of the field, do the Oklahoma drill. How awesome would that be? How awesome would that be? John says soaking is an old joke. Who's making soaking jokes? Come on. Aggie, what with Bears showing 2 weeks ago, the pass run game should be split more evenly. You cannot, again, I understand why BYU fan wants to lean on that. Iowa State's defense was terrible. Go watch it. You watch the Parker Kingston touchdown in the back of the end zone. Bro, he runs. It's not deceptive. Dude just runs a go route. And it's almost like he's like, well, shit, where'd everybody go? Better turn around.
Yeah, let me get my camp chair out and start a fire while I wait for the ball to get here since I'm so wide open.
Like, I'm being serious, dudes. Look at how open he is.
How is he that open?
And he was, I'll remind you, he was the slot receiver on this play. It's not like he ran all the way from the right and he was in the right slot and just ran right up the hash and faded to the left side of the end zone and nobody covered him. Good throw. Put it on him. Good throw. You're not getting that in Lubbock. You're not getting that. Now, it's this that really worry me. Because if we're truth telling about this play right here, Bear should have never panicked is strong. Panicked is strong. He had a sense of urgency to just get the ball out of my hand. And in this moment, you'd really like him to step up, because if you look at the angle that 31 for Iowa State has here. If he steps up, it helps his pass pro, his blitz pickup. And look at the wall that BYU has created. Now, who knows? 47's winning that battle right there, and maybe he gets popped. Could be. And hey, listen, the pass was complete. So aren't we nitpicking at this point? We probably are. But I use that to say you're not getting that against Texas Tech.
No,
you're not, because it's so.
And that's what I'd be doing if I was Tech. I would be pressuring him constantly.
I would probably run a little more disguise than teams have been running. Teams have not been disguising him, and it's been getting to him. I just don't know why you need to disguise. What are we scared of? What you don't really need to disguise.
I mean, he's not. This is not Fernando Mendoza. This is not Ty Simpson. This is not a quarterback that's gonna, burn you over the top. If your secondary is being disciplined the way theirs is, I mean, there's no reason not to be pressuring him a lot in this game. I mean, that to me, if you're Tech, you have to do that. Early in this game, I'm almost saying, hey, show me that you can beat me over the top, and then we'll start changing our plan. Hey, show me that you know how to, adjust pre-snap, right? Like if we've got, if Tech's got 8 guys at the line pre-snap, show me you know how to handle that, dude. Show me, because I don't think you can. With all due respect,
I would agree. I think it's going to be fascinating. This is why we're football fans. But I'm just telling you. BYU fan, your red assery over Bear Bachmeier will get humbled at some point. This kid will hit a ceiling this season because he's a kid. He's a freshman. At some point, you get to a level of competition, and hey, maybe that's not this week. Maybe he goes into Lubbock, dominates them, has a Heisman-level performance, and we're all idiots and ain't never seen a football game before, ain't never seen a freshman play a football game at the college level. But I'm just telling you, the cat's good for 1 interception this week. I am terrified of a fumble while he's running, not because of him, but because of how opportunistic and how good Tech is at creating fumbles. See the Utah game if you would like a display on how to punch the football out. And furthermore, I just think that BYU fan doesn't want to say, we've made a lot of plays, and we've had some 50-50 balls that have gone our way to get to this point, but we're going to have to be better than that in this game to win on the road. You understand that this place, they're already lined up outside the building right now. Do you understand what's happening? Yep. Like, have you been following it in Lubbock? Like, this is a no joke. Everybody in Lubbock is out for you type game. So I'm just telling you guys, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be out of your mind.
And I think but Gordon, you guys cannot. Are you trolling or are you being serious with this?
Yeah, is this like a genuine comment?
Did he get hit against Utah? He did. I would also ask you, has anybody they've played in the last month been even close to the level of ferocity and talent that Texas Tech brings on defense? Are you being, you can't really believe that Iowa State's defense can be compared to Texas Tech's defense. Do you understand the level of disparity that exists between Texas and let's use that. Let's use this as an example. Do you understand the level of disparity that exists between Iowa State's performance and Texas Tech's performance? Do you understand that in passing, when you look at average defensively, do you understand that Iowa State gives up 212 yards a game? And when you look at Texas Tech, they're the 5th best pass defense in the conference at 196. And you're going to say, well, Monty, that's only 16 yards difference. Do you understand how much different that is? Do you understand that when you start looking at things like defensive efficiency, do you understand that Texas Tech is 105.5 and Iowa State's 128? The span between those two defenses is the Grand Canyon can't cover it. Yeah, I like, that's crazy to me. That when you start looking at Texas Tech and Iowa State's got 7 interceptions, Tech's got 10. Iowa State gives up 5 more percentage points in completion. Do you understand that Texas Tech is giving up 55% passing? Third. They're third. Now, who's number 2? BYU. So, what have we been saying all week long? The 3 best defenses in this conference, 2 of them are going to be on the field Saturday together against each other. So, this idea that, like, you look at let me ask you this. Why did Bear struggle so much to throw the ball on Arizona? Oh, that's right, because that's probably the best pass defense in the conference. So what do you think? And up front, Arizona cannot even compete. Cannot even compete. When we talk about rushing defense, the difference in running defense between Texas Tech and Iowa State, do you understand that Texas Tech gives up half the yards per game that Iowa State gives up on the ground? Do you understand that Arizona gives up 138.4 yards a game running? Texas Tech gives up 74. The span. And then you can go look at any of these other. Utah gives up 144 yards rushing a game. Texas Tech gives up 74. And you want to tell me that, oh, the last 5 weeks are the same, Monty? Bro, the difference it's night and day, because the talent at Texas Tech is so much significantly better than pretty much everybody but BYU and Utah's defense. And they're still exponentially better against the run than either one of those defenses. So, Hurricane, I don't know what hurricane you're talking about. What does that mean? This is BYU's biggest game since the national championship game that they won. I totally agree with that. I think it's everything you want. It is everything that you want. And there is not enough accolades for these defenses. There truly is not. I mean, wow, is that a true stat? In 9 games, Texas Tech has only given up 5 rushing touchdowns. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, you guys can keep
God
waxing and slurping Bear all you want. Texas Tech is not allowing this cat to go over the top, and you're going to have to throw it underneath and run after the catch to win this game. That's how you're going to win this game. That's it. You're not running between the tackles. You're going to have a really tough time out on the edge because they're a really disciplined defense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. You can call me a hater. You can call me an a-hole, whatever you want. Like, I've seen what this team's done against other teams. Like, nobody's reinventing their team at this point in the year. Nobody, we know who you are. We know what your strengths are. We know what your weaknesses are, man. And I'm sorry, but Tech is a good team for a reason.
Yeah.
And I am not picking
BYU's
against.
a good team for a reason.
They are a good team for a reason, but I'm not picking against Texas Tech and Lubbock for their season. If this was week 1, week 2, okay, different conversation. Not as much film. Hey, there's not as much on the line. Bro, this is for basically a guaranteed bid to the CFP. And you understand that, right? Whoever wins this game is pretty much auto-tracked into the CFP because they're not going to penalize you for losing the Big 12 championship game if that were to happen. So
yeah, Texas Tech, if they lose this game, I think is done.
Yeah. So like you're playing for everything in this game, dude. And by the way, I also think we've spent 90 minutes talking about Bear Bachmeier. Let's spend 5 minutes talking about Baron Morton. Like Baron Morton's got some stuff on the line here. This guy's got to right the ship on the narrative that he's not here for big games, that he is not a big time performer, that a big game rolls up in a big environment and he can't handle it. Like I understand the guy's a gamer. I give him a ton of credit for the punishment he took against Utah and getting back up and trying to survive that game. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to do that. And BYU's defense is more than happy to beat your ass. And they've shown that repeatedly. Multiple times.
Only undefeated of the elites in this conference. I think it, and BYU's earned the accolades. BYU has earned the confidence. I mean, again, you're in the elites of college football. You're undefeated. You're 8-0, not accidentally. I mean, I think you are at this point clearly the best team in the conference. And you have a chance to reinforce that narrative. You have a chance to drive that home. And it's going to come down to, I think the quarterbacks are going to win this game. And it's going to be a throwing contest because neither one of these teams likes to let you run the ball. And I think that the interesting stat, I was perusing PFF advanced stats last night, premium stats. Do you guys know BYU's defense has played the fewest snaps in the entire Big 12? I think it's like 517 snaps because the offense runs the ball well. They keep them on. They get off the field, and BYU's defense or BYU's offense is converted. Do they get off the field? Does the defense get off the field? Like, is this going to be? Because I think if Texas Tech has their way, won't this be a quick strike shootout? I would think so.
Yeah,
I would think so. So, all right, a couple more because we have spent an hour and 36 minutes talking about BYU. Time for Baron to exercise his demons and ball out. Amen to that. And he's been really, Baron Morton has been much better at home. He is a much, much, much better quarterback at home. And I think Bear actually has been just as good at home as he's been on the road. But when you look at his numbers on the road, he's a very average quarterback. Baron Morton's a very average quarterback. 12 touchdowns, 1 pick at home. He's rated a 200 at Jones AT&T. He's just a different guy. He's a different guy at home. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see. Like, is he ready to play? Is he injured or was that a quarterback change happening? I got to think
Now,
I got to believe that he is. I have to believe that he was hurt.
Yeah.
I have to believe that he was hurt.
Yeah.
I have to think, because I listen again. I go back and I listen to what Joey Mack said about that, and I have to believe that he was hurt.
Yeah. Must have been. I don't know. Apparently, by the way, I know that we've spent 90 minutes hating on BYU, but I guess now we hate Texas Tech because now we're getting comments like this one.
Fuck me.
I'm a Texas Tech fan, and the way you guys talk shames our team. We can get beat by any team if you haven't noticed by all the upsets in the Big 12. You guys are not humble, but you don't speak for Texas.
What have we said on any fucking level that would shame Texas Tech? I think I just sat here and throated your defense for 90 minutes. And now we're shaming.
Stuck in a ding dong.
Where did that comment go? Here it is. And now I'm shaming Texas Tech.
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know, bro.
That's why I said I think we're doing it right. Matt says, I think if Morton was healthy, I think Tech covers. 10.5 is a huge number against an elite defense. Like, that is, I think that's going to be really, really tough. That's going to be really tough to cover 10.5. I mean, you cover 10.5. Oh, your prediction has shamed Cougar Nation.
I mean, it's just, I just don't know how that maths, dude. I don't know how we just came up with that we're shaming Texas Tech.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. BYU is going to come out resenting the fact that they're 10.5 dogs, and they're going to be looking for that respect that they think they deserve. Oh, and I can guarantee you Kalani's selling that. Nobody thinks we're good. They don't respect us. These are the same people who didn't want us in this conference for a decade. Fuck them. Well, you wouldn't go that far. But my point is,
wow.
I think he's going to use that. There's no doubt. Whoa. Jay says, we need James to make his pick so I know which way to lay the money. Exactly. Bryce, he always had injury problems since his freshman year. That's who he is at this point. Well, aren't you Tyler Shuck then? Right? I mean,
it's better theoretically, but
yeah. Game is simple. If BYU goes down by 2 scores and has to throw the ball, BYU has no chance. Bears gotten better every week.
But the Iowa State game.
Yeah. I was actually happy that you slurped my team because I was worried you were going to change your pick, Monty. I think it's going to be shame. I think it's going to be a very close game. I have to think it's going to be a very close game. Billy says, I'm shamed that I'm watching this. You could be. The Natural, Cry Me a River. Cry Me a River. Hit the soundbite from the Texas Tech fan. I mean, it is amazing. And again, I think this is how you know I've done the job today. We've done the job today. BYU fans pissed, Tech fans pissed.
And you two motherfuckers need Jesus.
Joey's Brigham's pissed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Oh, what a loser.
Yeah. I guess so, dude. Man, we've pissed people off and we haven't even talked about Pat McAfee yet. Damn. What a day.
BYU with the win. Could be right. Touche, tortillas.
Yeah. I mean, wow.
Enzo says you have brought shame to your show. Great shame.
Yeah. I mean, just incredible shame.
Shame. Phil Benzer, you guys must have dementia. Terrible dementia. Tortillas are so shamed. They will not leave their cellophane wrapping. You charting all of this, James? Good question.
Yeah.
Good question. I don't know. Listen. It is what it is. I feel shamed, and I'm not a fan of either team. Shame. I love that drop, by the way.
Yeah, it's a great drop.
Monty in the hoodie, your work is done here.
Yeah, I mean, should we just retire? Like, have we done such a good job at this point of pissing everybody off that you guys are all what do we have, 7,000 of you listening today? And now we've shamed BYU, we've shamed Texas Tech. The show has been shamed all to like. I mean, come on, dude. Come on.
Twitter's been going crazy.
It is pretty interesting to me that this is where we end up. You know, like it just is. It is what it be. Let's see, a couple more. Martin Aaron. I'm a lifetime BYU fan. Absolutely love what Bear is doing. Yes, he did have a good game throwing the ball versus Iowa State, but the numbers are a little deceiving. About half the yards were yak. Yeah. Well, and listen, that's what I said. I'm not telling you. And hear me clearly on this. Because Monday I'm coming for that ass, Monty.
You just hate BYU. I'm going to come and tell you how it is.
I'm taking your Temple recommend, boy. Could be. You know.
Shame.
Bear Bachmeier does not suck. He does.
But you said he did, Monty. You said he sucks.
He's not a bad quarterback. He's inexperienced.
Because it's garbage.
He's inexperienced. Just simple as that. Win or lose, I think I'll have to be here Monday. You better.
Yeah, you damn right you're going to be here.
Feeling a Belichick vibe with the hoodie today, boys. I'm not.
I don't know. It just was, dude, it was moody as hell out today. And I was like, you know what?
I'm wearing a quarter zip.
You're wearing a hoodie.
I'm not like. I got on the scale this morning and I'm at a new low, a new Zep bound low. I broke through the plateau.
Nice.
You know.
Nice.
What a bunch of sensitive crybabies.
Yes, Utah fan has arrived, bro.
God,
yes.
I needed Greg Hawkins in the chat so badly today.
Dude, incredible effort, Greg, as usual. You saved us.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
If BYU wins, does it eliminate Tech from the playoffs? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, where was that graphic you had? The percentage graphic. What are they like? 50-something%?
Yeah, they
Tech
are
right now.
51%. Yeah, 51.
Where are they? Yeah, 51.6. So I mean, yeah, you're pretty much done at that point, dude.
BYU 74.1. So, you know what? Interesting. I can't remember who. Somebody was telling me today that Dante Moore is coming back to Oregon. Who was I talking to about that? Some Oregon guy was telling me today it's done. Huh. Okay. Oh, it was Marcus, our TV guy. Marcus was telling me that.
Marcus
has been remarkable. He hates BYU. Marcus hates it. I am here every day, unlike Utah fan. Whoa, Maury Alvarez.
Throwing shade.
I love it. Utah is still the best team in the conference. Okay.
Keep telling yourself
you mean
that,
the Big
bud.
Ten? I think Utah is very good. I am impressed that Utah has not collapsed. I think Utah has put themselves in a position. They need help, but Utah's put them in a position to be a catch-all, right? I mean, their season's certainly not over. They have a ton to play for. Zach says, does the committee really drop Tech below Utah with a Tech law? Oh, I think so.
I think you have to, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, hell, put the rankings back up. I mean, if you lose.
Yeah, this was surprising. Surprising. Right? This is what Zach's talking about. Like you look at this. Tech is 8th. Excuse me. Tech is 8th there. Utah's 13th. If Tech loses this game, I mean, Texas is the one that's really interesting because I still think, I know BYU fan was on my TikTok comment section the other day telling me that Bear Bachmeier is better than Arch. Okay. If Texas wins out, Texas is going to the playoff. If they lose another game, they're out. If Texas Tech loses another game, they're out. If Oregon loses another game, they're out. If Notre Dame, if Oklahoma, if Utah, this is not accidental. I think the only teams who can lose games are Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Bama, and Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ole Miss is on a very thin rope. I think BYU is on a very thin rope. And I think that's I think that's just the reality of where the Big 12 is, frankly. I'm waiting for CFP Holy War. My God, that would be amazing. Bryce Martin, the triple threat between BYU, Tech, and Utah is amazing.
It is. It's incredible. Yeah.
801 West Valley. It's the quality loss everybody brands. What do you mean? It's the quality loss everybody brand about, though. Well, if Tech loses to BYU, there would be a fight, certainly. Certainly. I don't know if BYU can lose one. I don't know. I was listening to Josh Pate on Get Up this morning, and he agrees with me that if BYU loses, they're going to be very, very difficult. It's going to be very difficult to get in.
Yeah,
Utah
I don't think you can lose one.
Utah would have beat BYU if Whittingham just took the points. Could have been. Look, Mo Vaughn, settle down. Geoff is a huge Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles fan. Huge. Are you going to be upset when they trade Trout? Because there's some belief they're going to trade Trout.
Like they should have, like 10 years ago?
Like he should have, It'll be interesting. What about this quality loss bowl defecation? I truly don't. I have zero belief in this committee. Well,
let's be honest, dude. There's no such thing as a quality loss for a Big 12 team. That doesn't work. In the Big 12,
what do you expand on that? What do you mean by that?
Well, because the SEC can have a quality loss. The SEC, in the SEC, you can have. I mean, look at any of these teams right here. I mean, is this really breaking news? Like in the SEC, dude. I mean, A&M can have a loss, right? Bama can have a loss, right? Georgia can have a loss, but BYU, because they're a Big 12 team, can't have a loss, right? Tech obviously can't have a loss just because then you've lost too many at that point. But I'm just simply saying that when you look at this and then you look at the bracket, it's like, hey man, like ultimately, I mean, right now you're slated to play Notre Dame if nothing changes. So, I just don't think that there's such a thing as a quality loss in the Big 12 because the committee is so harsh on Big 12 teams that you're at a point where you essentially have to do what Oregon did last year. You have to go undefeated, and that's your most assured way of getting to where you want to go. Not just the CFP, but making sure that when you're in your conference championship game, that if you do lose that game, they're not going to penalize you for that. If you're undefeated in the regular season and your only loss is the championship game, you're good. I think at that point you're fine. But I would be terrified if I lost this game.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. So Utah has 2 bad losses to Tech and BYU. Well, I don't think BYU's not a bad loss. BYU's 8-0.
You're making my point, dude. They're on the outside looking in. They're not in the CFP. What do you mean?
I don't think that's
They're outside.
You make fun of my name. You make fun of my mother. Tread lightly, Geoff.
Oh God, here we go. Here, let me help you.
Spinal. Back is broken.
With Jeff Johnson.
I broke my back.
BYU still controls its destiny even with a loss. They still can go to a championship game with a loss.
Yeah.
Geoff, Jeff, how is your back? Jeff had a serious workplace injury, like big time.
He is a sick puppy.
Yeah. Shut up. I hope you're good there, dude. Marshawn Nealon to that's not even funny.
What are we doing?
Funny.
What are we doing?
That's a terrible story. Fight on Natties, Trout to the Dodgers. Bro, how about this Lincoln Riley story? Exclusively on the Monty program. Lincoln Riley, sources say Lincoln Riley's the top candidate for the Auburn football job. Are you guys surprised by this? Like, I'm a little... Look, I think you guys know. I think Lincoln Riley's a quality coach. Don't ask him to coach your defense. You put Lincoln Riley at Auburn, that is an SEC championship contending team in 2 years. They will be significantly better because he will actually, have a quarterback I think you look at where SC is. SC's got a defense problem. Is Auburn a better job than USC? I don't know how you can say that. I don't think Auburn's a better job than USC. Am I wrong about that?
I mean, I guess it depends on what does better job mean? I mean, more access to championships? No, I think you have as much access in both jobs. I mean, I think SC has just as much access, and I would make a really strong case that SC in the Big Ten's got a slightly easier path. I think the reality, though, is that when you're on the East Coast, the recruiting is easier, in my opinion. It's easier to get kids to stay in the South than it is to get them to leave to go to the West Coast. I don't have any doubt about that. And that's not unique to USC. I also think that, Lincoln, Lincoln, we know who he is and who he's not. And eventually I'd like to think the guy can figure it out on defense. I really do. I'm not even busting balls. I really feel like he's talented enough to figure it out, but he hasn't yet. And
you could have either job, Auburn or USC.
I would probably take Auburn.
Oh my God, you're crazy.
Yeah.
All right, you guys in the comments section, Auburn or SC. All right. Phil Venzer gifts 5 Monty Show memberships. Phil.
Nice job, bro.
Oh, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Phil is, that's not something Phil does lightly. That is not something Phil Venzer does lightly. Every penny in that man's life counts. And I appreciate that you gifted 5 Monty Show memberships, Phil. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. And then, of course, there's Aaron Wilson, who gifts 1 Monty Show membership. Thank you. Appreciate that. As always, as I said before, good to see you. Fight on Natties. No program can afford to pay the buyout and also pay him a new contract. I think there is a belief that USC would negotiate the buyout, because I'm not certain that USC wouldn't hold the door for Lincoln. Because I can tell you, we know quite a few SC boosters who are not happy with that situation. So, Jeff says, I don't care if you call me Geoff. I was joking. You guys are good. Geoff's my guy.
You're a legend, bro. Appreciate you. By the way, I think you had commented somewhere else that you had gotten yoked or something. That's if you have indeed gotten
here it is.
in amazing
I'm good,
shape. That's
dude.
great,
I got
dude.
yoked and my wife loves it. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, there you go, dude. Nice.
Stat. Geoff had a serious workplace injury, dudes. Like, whew. I thought this was a Michigan hate show. What is this almost 2 hours we're spending on this BYU game? I'm here for pain.
Me for having no days off.
Sorry, my bad. Monty, that's what they said when they took the USC job, and look how that turned out. Well, true enough. Benzos, Auburn would give up 50 a game. Probably not wrong. Lincoln Riley on Auburn offense, DJ Durkin on Auburn defense. You better do something.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand why he can't get a coordinator in there that can figure it out. You know, that's my single biggest question. Why is it so difficult? Why is it so difficult for Lincoln to just figure it out, dude? Like, that's literally your last hurdle. It's the guy can make Heisman Trophy winners all day, prolific offense, pretty solid special teams, even a good kicker, but can't figure out defense. Can't be. And the thing is, and I think what makes it worse, honestly, for him is that the offense is so good that you don't even need a prolific defense. You just need a defense that'll keep you under 30 a game. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
And they're better this year. I think they're definitely better. I mean, what are they? You're fifth in the Big Ten? Indiana, Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, and you're 6th in the Big Ten, excuse me. But that will change, I think. Because Michigan's got 6 conference games, as does Indiana. So I think it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But I don't know. I think it's a really interesting conversation. I think, in talking to an SC guy today, he was telling me, I think we would negotiate the buyout. And I think we as a booster group would contribute. And I think that's exactly right. USC getting tired of Riley. Say it ain't so. Yeah. Steve Wicks. USC has the top recruiting class in 26. USC's a better job than Auburn, and I think you have an easier path to the playoff. Phil says, I wonder what's going on between Mountain West PAC and the TV contract. It's November. Well, they're trying to. I think both sides are having issues trying to navigate this lawsuit. And we reported exclusively 2 weeks ago, the Pac-12 is open to negotiating. The Pac-12 has significantly changed its posture on this lawsuit.
Softening.
So it's got to get done. They have got to negotiate that deal.
Listen, the Pac-12, and I don't care who tells you what, the Pac-12 does not have a choice. They will soften and they will bend the knee, or else they won't exist. It's that simple. And they will never, ever get out from under the leverage in this situation. The contract is the contract.
I would agree.
You are dead on that hill already. So what you should have done, which is what we've said for a year now, is settle this. Take your beating, take your medicine, and move on with your life.
No question. No question. And the fact that it hasn't been done, tells you a lot about where the Pac-12 is. And I think a lot of it tells you a lot about where I think the Mountain West is in a better position financially than the Pac-12 is. So it's not a desperation thing for the Mountain West. And I know that pisses Pac-12 fan off, but I think the Pac-12 has to find a way to mitigate their losses at this point, because now we're at a point on November 6th where it almost doesn't matter how this thing gets worked out. Neither one of these two are going to financially win out of this.
Agreed.
Because you're paying retainers and legal fees, and you're not moving the needle forward on a TV deal. So that means you're not doing other pieces of business that you really need to and should be doing, but you're not, because you're still in court and you're still arguing over things that should have been settled. And I think this is 100% the Pac-12's responsibility. And I think it's why the Pac-12 has shown a willingness to talk about it. And that's the hard part. I just think it's difficult, frankly. I thought Lincoln Riley ran away from the SEC when he left OU. I don't know about all that.
That's a narrative. That's not. I don't think that's the truth.
I think Lincoln loves recruiting, and I think Lincoln loves coaching offense. But we'll see. Bo Footies, where have you been, Bofa? It's been a minute, but is there a reason why you guys aren't in SLC anymore? My wife took a job, so I had to move to Seattle. I didn't really have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is, again, in conversations I've had, I may not have even told Jake this. I got that phone call Monday morning again about, hey, we're looking for a morning show. Nah, bruh. Not doing radio. And a lot of people ask me, like, why aren't you in radio anymore? Hey, you're not in radio. Bro, you don't control your own destiny in radio. You don't work for yourself.
Why would we limit? But here's the thing. I also think that this is the real thing outside of the contract BS and the politics and all the peasant behavior out of the radio stations in Salt Lake.
Behavior.
Yeah, I just think it's childish. It's childish the way it goes down. But why would we limit ourselves? Our show reaches further than any radio station in Salt Lake City ever will, and any radio station in any market. We are a global brand.
We've said this. We are still the largest sports talk show in the state of Utah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where radio is really difficult to navigate. I would do it part-time. I would do it as a fill-in host. I totally would be open to some of that stuff. I would never do it full-time.
The only way I'd ever do it full-time is if, and I don't even know that air quotes radio station. I don't mind the platform that is radio. I think there's still value to it, but the business of radio is just so convoluted and just run so poorly that the only way I'd ever do it is if we could do it ourselves. I mean, honestly, like how do you go from How do you go from being as dominant as we are on YouTube and in the brand growth that we've seen, walking up on 200,000 subs as this year comes to a close? How do you go from that to limiting yourself to, we're at like 185, I think, or like 184 and change, like not that far away. Like it's just, I don't know, man. I just think it's, and I haven't even mentioned the FCC regulation piece. I mean, I just think it's so limiting to what you can do. Like that's the problem.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Lane Gould. I'm glad you guys don't believe in bear. We just have to go out and play sound ball. We don't care if the whole world is there. We come to play. Who said we don't believe in Bear Bachmeier? Like, this is what you guys got to stop playing the victim at BYU. Nobody on this show said we don't believe in Bear Bachmeier.
Yeah.
I gave you an honest assessment of where I think he is. And I think that Bear Bachmeier is a true freshman quarterback who is going into a very hostile environment. He's never played in an environment like that. And he's not seen a defense that's this good. I lean towards that defense. He's a freshman quarterback that is, again, I'm just going to keep saying, when you leg lock your front leg as a quarterback, it's going to limit your accuracy. And I think as a freshman, his mechanics are not always great. I think he doesn't read defenses. I think he reads his wide receivers. That doesn't mean I don't believe in him. You just, doesn't the Pac give up their P4 status soon if they don't finalize? No, they gave up their P4 status already. So I found this show while living abroad because it was on the internet, but the other way around, almost impossible to find my stuff here because it's was on linear networks. Yeah, radio's tough. I'm passionate about it. I worked, you guys probably know this, but I've worked in radio for years. Nationally at Sporting News and ESPN, locally in a bunch of great markets. I've won awards. We were the voted number one sports talk show in Phoenix. Like, we've done great things, but
people were pissed.
Yeah, they were. You can't count on it. You cannot count on it. Greg says, when I found the show, there was under 1,000 subscribers. Now look at it. Hard to do with the radio these days. It really is, because you don't control anything in radio. When I moved to Salt Lake in 2013, I was there 2 years. We were the number one rated sports talk station. I was the program director and the morning host. We were the number one rated sports talk station. Kyle Gunther and Ben Anderson were the number one rated afternoon show. We were the number one rated morning show. We made just short of $1 million. They sold the land under our transmitter and turned the station off. Just had the biggest year we've ever had financially. Ratings were great. They sold the land under the transmitter and turned the station off. I'm not going through that again. I'm never doing that again. I'm having a very bad day, Gabriel says. I'm in no mood. Is one of the worst days in a long time. GTA 6 got delayed yet again, and I'm trying to soul search right now. Okay. I hope you're okay. All jokes aside, hope you guys' day went well. It was all right. Today, the last 12 hours, Amazon has been wearing me out. Real quick, just to bitch about Amazon. The hardest part about being an Amazon FBA seller is working with Amazon. There's a program called Vine. I need reviews on my products. You can
By the way, link in the description. Go buy it. Leave a great review. Thanks.
There is. Yeah, the link's in the description. Yes, please go buy it. Leave a good review. There's a program called Vine where Amazon users don't pay for the product. They get it free and they leave you a review. Good, bad, whatever their review is. I paid for 30 of those because I still have to pay the product and the shipping. So it cost me $40 a product. I paid for 30 of them. I have 11 reviews of the 30, 7 of them are being filtered. I have 7 additional reviews which are being filtered. Bro, stop it. You're killing me right now.
Bro, I'm sorry. I don't mean to sidetrack. Bro, Phil, dude, you don't need to tweet screenshots at us about your 5 gifted your memberships, dude. Just because we didn't read it right away doesn't mean we're not going to read it, bro. You don't have to be upset, dude.
When is the last time we had gifted memberships and didn't read it, or paid comments and didn't read them? It happens once a year, twice a year.
You understand that our streaming software aggregates them. So we go through them.
Yeah. Dude, it's okay. Kale State. What's up, Kale? BYU fan here. The facts remain. We find ways to win. You do. It doesn't make sense to you talking heads, but it's working. 19-2 in the last 21.
Here, let me ratio you. Let me ratio you. How many Big 12 championships? How many CFP appearances?
And it's a fair point in that. You guys were amazing last year. And Jake Retzloff was on the show every week, and it was awesome. Until it was time to win games you should have won, and then you lost. This is a chance. And to me, this is the perfect trajectory for BYU. This is a chance to win a game on the road and show us that the program's grown. You're deeper. You're now 2 deep at every position, pretty much. You have a guy at quarterback that's a true freshman who has no business playing football for this team right now, but you have no choice, and he's getting better every single week. The defense has to perform at a very high level to win this game. Simple as that, man. You're going to have the ball in the fourth quarter with a chance to take the lead. That's my opinion. I don't think this is a blowout. I think your defense at BYU is very good. I think you're going to be very close. But I think BYU fans expect Salt Lake media to shine BYU every chance you get. We've never been that show. We're always going to give you our honest opinion, and it's always going to be backed up by facts and knowledge. And you don't have to agree with it. It's why we have discussions. Eggie, what us BYU fans need is some real drinks to stop being so sensitive. Here's to tequila shots per touchdown. Go Cougs.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
Okay. Crypto says Auburn. Okay. You know, does Amazon have a rectory? They're trying. Gabriel, as a UCF fan, I'm jealous of BYU fans. You should be. Where did we leave it on Lincoln? Do we think Lincoln would leave SC to go to Auburn?
I have trouble with that.
I don't think he would.
Yeah, I have trouble with that.
I don't think he would.
But the question is not if he would leave for Auburn, but would he rather be fired or leave? What's a better thing for him? Because eventually he's not going to be the head coach at SC. That's just the nature of the business. But there obviously was a lot of smoke around that after last year, and this year's been better. But again, still 6th in the Big Ten, I think you were just saying. So,
yeah. But much improved.
Much improved.
Yeah. Much improved. What do you, real quick, did you guys hear this about this Antonio Brown story? The wide receiver who is, by any account, losing his goddamn mind. Antonio Brown has been arrested on attempted murder charges stemming from a shooting after a celebrity boxing event in Miami. And when I say arrested, I mean in a foreign country. He was picked up in Dubai, and he is being extradited back to the United States to face charges. Brown, who's 37, was taken into custody by U.S. Marshals in Dubai. Miami police spokesman Mike Vega said he was flown to Essex County, New Jersey, where he is being held pending extradition to Miami. It was unclear why Brown was taken to New Jersey first or how long he had been in Dubai. although he has posted several times on social media over the past few months from Dubai, according to an arrest warrant detailing the May 16th shooting. And this is the part where it gets tough. This gets really tough. Brown is accused of grabbing a handgun from a security guard after a boxing match and firing 2 shots at a man he had gotten into a fist fight with earlier. The man, Zul Kwarnian Kwame Nantambu.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Told investigators one of the bullets grazed his neck. It was unclear from court documents whether Brown has an attorney at this time. It was determined by police that gunshots were fired at the boxing event. Brown was seen fighting with several people on a video posted to social media, and gunshots could clearly be heard after the altercation. Police released Brown after a few hours, and he posted an explanation to social media. Quote, "I was jumped by multiple individuals who tried to steal my jewelry and cause physical harm to me. Contrary to some video, police temporarily detained me until they received my side of the story, then released me. I went home that night and was not arrested." Oh. Do you believe him, Jake? Do you think he was just defending himself? Like,
I don't believe him for a second. I think that, unfortunately, Antonio Brown, I want to be respectful and sensitive to his situation. I think that you can't relate to what dude's going through because, you're not in his mind, his state of mind. And I think that it's very clear mental illness has played into his downfall and his fall from stardom.
You hope.
I hope.
Because if this is who he is.
If it's who he is, then okay, then that's a whole different thing. But he wasn't this guy early in his career. This was not who he was. And all the stuff with Yee and like just that whole run that he went on. I don't know, man. I've never seen the video of what allegedly happened in Miami and all that. Clearly they have evidence or else they wouldn't be extraditing him. But, it just is, it to me, it's really sad. I mean, the moment he ripped his shirt off and walked off the field, you were like, yeah, dude, this guy's not well. This guy is not well. And that's why I say, like, I don't mean to accuse him of things we don't have evidence of, but like just the way he acts suggests it's more than just, hey, this is who the guy is. Like,
Yeah, so again, breaking news from Adam Schefter at ESPN. Antonio Brown extradited from Dubai to New Jersey, waiting extradition now from New Jersey to Miami on charges of attempted murder, I believe it is. And it's just terrifying. Like, you hear these stories. When you're charged with attempted murder and and then you hear this story this morning about Marshawn Nealon, and I'm assuming most people heard this. Marshawn Nealon, the young player of the Dallas Cowboys, he was 24 years old, allegedly died by suicide after a police chase in Dallas, in the Dallas area. He allegedly was being pursued for some driving infractions. He found a way to evade police. They later found his vehicle abandoned. And when they looked further, they found him with what they claim is a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And people close to him had been saying that he had suicidal thoughts. And then he goes out and has this. Like, football, I love football. I'm a passionate football fan. This is not a good day for the NFL.
No, it is not.
This is not a good day for football because you're looking at young lives ending. And you just know that this is a violent, dangerous sport. And what's interesting is my wife a lot of times Mrs. Monty and I will just talk about different topics or things. And when she's reading or whatever, she'll see something and she'll be like, oh, you guys should talk about this on the show. Did you guys see this study that came out about gunfire? That when you are exposed in long form to gunfire, firing a gun, that the shock wave does damage to your brain. The shock wave causes mini concussions, essentially. And long exposure can lead to brain damage and CTE. So if you're in the military, police, law enforcement, and you're constantly firing guns, dude, like it's crazy what we put ourselves through. It's just crazy.
Yeah,
it's
man.
just crazy. Could be a combination of both, Johnny, and that's even scarier. Is Marshawn a mental health case or fear of police case? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate.
Allegedly, his girlfriend had called the Cowboys, somebody at the Cowboys. I don't know who she called, but they have a contact.
Team security,
and said that that she was really concerned, that she was fearful of his life because he had been sending texts to them just saying goodbye. And then the chase thing came out, and then so it just like I don't know how it went from, hey, he's sending these texts to the police chase. I think we're all kind of waiting to see how all this went down. But I think the bigger, with all due respect to him, the bigger thing for the league is there's no way to prevent, brain damage. There's just not.
Nope.
Like there's not. This isn't like, hey, you can tape your ankles up in the league to make sure that this isn't the Steph Curry ankle issue in the NBA that he's been able to solve. This isn't, this isn't anything like that. And this is why I'm always so harsh on the NFL about like the playing surface and all the other controllables. Literally everything in the NFL.
MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, like everything in the NFL should be perfect. Like the playing surface, like just everything should be perfect, because inevitably these cases are going to come up where it's going to be impossible for the league to run from the idea that, hey, playing in this sport is why some people are dying in their 50s. Like that's in this case at 24. Like that's brutal, bro. Like that. How do you get away from that? Well, you don't.
I don't know. Yeah, I agree. You don't. Right. And it's just scary. You look at these young lives. And again, I say you're giving, this cat killed himself allegedly a week after the greatest moment of his football career, where he scored a touchdown on national television wearing a Dallas Cowboy uniform. It hurts, dude. It hurts. It really does. And I don't know how you fix it. I really don't know how you fix it. And I would love to see it get fixed. I would love to see brain damage be a thing of the past.
And I love that guys are wearing the I don't know the official name for them, but the covers over the helmets. Yeah. We're seeing a lot more guys wear those, and you don't even notice them on TV.
It is being frowned upon. There is some belief that there is peer pressure. And you see a lot of the guys wearing the device that squeezes their neck so it floats more, allegedly more brain and fluid, or more blood and fluid to the brain. And yeah. Anyway, there you have it on that story. Make sure check out the comment section, or check out the description of the show. The link to our Amazon store is there. You can go see our shelves. You can go see, if you have a young child in your life, 3 to 8, 10 years old, who likes trucks and construction vehicles, we absolutely offer them in our store. Make sure you go check it out. Would love you to buy one and leave me a review, because Lord knows Amazon won't let me get the ones I paid for. It's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. And I'm dealing with another issue with Amazon right now that's just, Anyway, you learn and you grow and you move on. Does hockey have these problems? Not as much, because fighting has become a thing of the past.
Well, and they're not running their heads into each other constantly. It's a much more, it's different physically.
But I think you look at the Bob Proberts of the world, or you look at these stories existed in hockey. They don't exist as much anymore. Look at that. Look at that. Calamoni Gifts 20 Monty Show memberships. Alimony, always appreciate you. Thanks so much. Always supporting the show. Thank you, sir. Yes. Yes. The answer is yes. Real quick before we move on, did you guys see? So they were having a press conference in the Oval Office today. Donnie's releasing or doing this thing where he's worked with the obesity drug manufacturers. And they're making an announcement today about discounted prices for Medicaid and Medicare for these obesity drugs. And here's how it went.
And creating high-value jobs. But today we... Oh, you okay? Gordon, you okay?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head out.
Press out. Press. We're going. Thank you, press.
Yeah, press. Get out of here.
Cameras. We're done. Cameras.
Like, how scary is that? Now, who I want you to pay attention to in this next one. Watch how quickly RFK had. I'm ahead.
And creating high-value jobs.
I'm sorry. Would you say?
Right side of the screen. He's on the right side of your screen. Watch him just walk away.
And creating high-value jobs. But today we... Oh, you okay? Gordon, you okay?
And look at Dr. Oz right there. Dr. Oz like, in our case, like, Dr. Oz good. I'm ahead.
Press out.
Right? So I'm going to head out. Now watch Donald Trump on the left side of the screen.
And creating high-value jobs. But today we...
There's Dr. Oz.
Okay?
Whoop in.
Gordon,
And I'll give
okay?
Ozzy some credit.
Yeah.
Look at Connie, like he's all in it.
Press out. Press. We're going. Thank you, press.
First of all, how scary is that? That's one of the pharmaceutical executives who collapsed in the Oval Office today. But RFK is just like, oh, health and human. I'm going to head out. I'm the doctor, health guy. I'm going to head out. And Dr. Oz is like, yeah, Dr. Oz is like, oh, let me go help this guy. Donald Trump, the president. Hey, let me see if I can watch this guy die. Like, I mean, and RFK is like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna head out. Rose Garden.
Yeah, I got other meetings to go to. Yeah, all right. Good luck, buddy.
Let me go check on that ballroom you guys are building.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the president of the United States is willing to stand here. RFK's not.
And creating high-value jobs. But today we... Oh, are you okay? Gordon, you okay?
Gordon?
Monty?
Hey, Mom.
Yeah.
Press out. Press. We're going. Thank you, press. Press. Cameras. We're done. Cameras.
That is crazy. What would you swoop into action, Jake?
Yes, absolutely.
What would you do?
Yes, I would not leave the
you would
room.
probably try to help him, right?
Yes, I would. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. You really I would hope so.
Yeah, I'm certainly not going to be seen, running out of the room in a panic. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. Well, and an hour later, they resumed the event, and Donald Trump announced today with Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk that they're expanding Medicare coverage and reduced prices for Zepbound and Wegovy. And I mean, obviously, it's a big deal. As somebody who takes Zepbound, I would love it to be cheaper. It probably won't be for me. But it just sucks that homie passed out, right? The interesting part, too, is that RFK has been against weight loss drugs. And he said he's been very anti. Today, he called obesity the disease of the impoverished. I'm curious, is being a fat guy a poor guy's thing?
No.
I'm kind of interested to see what that looks like.
Also, this meeting was kind of a cluster all the way around. I mean, the still pictures of Trump sleeping in his chair while Dr. Oz is talking is probably not a great look either.
I hate it. I really, really hate it. I hate that we do that. I really hate that.
Maybe dude shouldn't be falling asleep in the middle of an office come on.
I get it, but how that looks bad for our president and for our country.
Right.
Like,
it doesn't matter. He did it to himself. We did this to Biden. We never did it to Barack. We did it to Bush. Like, I mean, you can't, bro. He's done this. He did this at the Republican National Convention. He's doing it in the Oval Office. Like, I mean, bro, how many times are you going to take a nap? What, Air Force 18 isn't good enough for nap time? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. I really hope that, I just wish we would stop going, you know what I mean? I wish we'd stop attacking each other. And I agree, it's a bad look if the president's falling asleep. And Donnie's had a tough week. I mean, the elections did not go well. Then this whole pardon thing that he talked about, like he pardoned a guy and then said, I have no idea who it is, after he ripped Joe Biden for using an auto pen and pardoning guys that Biden didn't know who they were. He just did what he was told. And Donnie then did an interview on national TV where he said, I don't know who that guy is. I just do what I'm told. Like, it's been a rough week. And then some dude collapsed on the floor of the Oval Office. Not ideal. Certainly not ideal. The optics are not great. But isn't half of these problems something he has caused? It certainly is. Trump being there is an embarrassment. Well, I mean, but he is. It is what it is, right? Like, I think at some point we have to get past he's the president of the United States, like constantly showing pictures of him falling asleep at meetings. Feed him less carbs. I don't know. Right? Like, I don't know. He always looks tired, and then he's always flipping tweeting at like 3 a.m. Go to bed. Damn it. Trump looks so uninterested about everything. He does. Jake would run into another room to put on his puffy vest. I think he would.
No, I would get the puffy vest to put on the dude to warm his ass up.
Shouldn't you just go put on? You need to wear the North Face vest every day.
Mm-hmm.
It is like you guys understand that's like a stupidly expensive vest too. The fact that we bust your ass over a $255 vest is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just thought about switching. I don't know. A hoodie felt nice today.
How dare you?
I know.
Mike Phillips, those drugs would be an absolute game changer for the Medicare population. I think it would.
Yeah.
And if they're talking about trying to make them $150, I say, hey, that's
clutch, dude.
That'd be great. Diet Cokes and McDonald's at 79 is not good. No, it's not. What about Disney wanting YouTube TV to put ABC on for election results and then take it back off? Well, it's interesting you bring that up because there is some belief that YouTube TV and Disney are working in earnest to end this thing before the weekend and another weekend of college football happens. Jake, do you think it's almost over?
I mean, I want it to be over.
Do you care?
I care about the principle of it. I see a lot of people tweeting that, oh, well, man, people are miserable without ESPN on YouTube TV. The reality is I don't watch YouTube TV unless I'm watching ESPN. And the truth is I don't need YouTube TV for anything other than the Sunday ticket. And that's about it. And I don't find myself, couch potatoing the NFL the way I used to anymore, to be quite frank with you. And the reality is I have ESPN's DTC product. So whether YouTube TV likes it or not, I get everything anyway. So what really have I lost? The only thing I've lost is the functionality of watching it on my TV without airplaying it. And I could still do that if I just open the ESPN app on my smart TV. So the reality is it is people taking any chance they can to bust ESPN's balls over this, rather than saying,
yes,
YouTube TV is the home of the NBA Finals. Anybody consider that? Hey, YouTube TV leverages ESPN for massive viewership, right? Like you do. The NHL, the NBA, college football. This is not just a football issue, bro. Like YouTube TV needs ESPN. So I don't really care who's to blame, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, man, ESPN's just desperate without YouTube TV. No, they're not. They're absolutely not. They're not at all, even a little bit, dude.
I think the hard part about this is I miss DirecTV.
Yes.
That's the hard part about this, because I'm going to tell you straight away, watching TV sucks right now. Watching TV sucks. I'm so tired. Tonight it's Thursday Night Football. I'm going to have to turn on Amazon Prime. But there's basketball on there. I got to flip, and then I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But am I just not going to watch the NFL? I miss DirecTV. That is the truth of the matter. And I think we took satellite and cable for granted.
Okay,
and
so here's the question then.
Cheaper, we all wanted better, and this is the not cheaper, and it's not better.
So if you didn't have to watch sports at the rate you do, would you have DirecTV instead of YouTube TV? I mean, because the only thing you're really missing on DirecTV at this point is
Sunday Ticket.
Yeah, Sunday Ticket. That's it.
I would much rather have DirecTV.
Because think about it. If you had DirecTV, you know, the only time you'd ever really have to go outside of that ecosystem would be if you wanted to watch Thursday Night Football, which, again, I'm not trying to hate on the NFL, but it's just there's most weeks I'm not that interested in Thursday Night Football. It usually is pretty mediocre or just irrelevant to what we do on this show.
It just pisses me off, dude. Like,
yeah. And no, I haven't ever watched Apple TV. And honestly, I find myself spending the most time in Paramount Plus and Netflix. That's it. You know,
it just is. It's so frustrating to me that we did this to ourselves because it just wasn't good enough. And I just wish that we had, Kurt Myers, Disney has done this shit to Spectrum and many other carriers. Well, but you have to understand the business model. And the problem is consolidation. ESPN is currently being vilified for this fight. I am telling you, it's not an ESPN problem. You look at what Spectrum's a very interesting one. Spectrum can't afford to pay what ESPN, ABC, Disney, whatever is getting from everybody else. So Spectrum needs a hand. ESPN's not going to give them a hand. And what inevitably happens? The cable companies pay more. So who pays more? You pay more. That's why cable sucked, because cable prices were always going up. Well, we were supposed to have solved that, and it's gone the wrong direction. It's gone the wrong direction. Personally, I am done with both cable and streaming. It's frustrating, man. I will, like, I have a MacBook Pro, and it sits here all day, and I watch ESPN direct to consumer. I don't watch YouTube TV anymore right now. I truly do not. I haven't watched YouTube TV since ESPN went away. Now, I also don't watch First Take. What I usually do is when Get Up ends in the morning, I'll turn on like the Bad Friends podcast, or I'll turn on something and listen to it. Usually it's either the Bad Friends podcast or like The Score in Chicago. But Phi Slamma Jamma forever. Damn right. Back in 99, DirecTV had LA feed and New York news feed. Yes, for an extra $5. Now all cities now free on Peacock. Yes. Yes. God, you guys remember that? How cool it was to watch? Oh, loved it. Roche. Sports is just the value of TV services. No sports, no value. I think that's very true.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't agree with that more. Like, I'm not here for Like, I love the ease of use of being able, like, I have all the Chicago PDs set to record for infinity, right? So, like, I cannot watch Chicago PD for like a year and then go back in there and catch up on like 4 seasons at a time or whatever. I appreciate that about YouTube TV. But the truth is that you can get all the Chicago-based shows and the Law and Orders and all that stuff on the cock. You can do that in the app.
Yep.
So I don't need YouTube TV.
Correct.
But I appreciate the ease of use on my phone and on the go. Like when we were golfing all the time, I had YouTube TV up constantly. You know, I would always have game day going. I'd always have something, but I just,
bro,
I don't know if I'm just taking after you in this whole red ass get off my lawn type thing, but I'm just tired of it. I'm over it, dude. I'm sick and tired of the pain in the ass it is to do so many things in life right now. Like, get the hell out of the way, put together a service that we can pay for all in one, or I'm probably not going to be that invested moving forward. Like, it's not going to kill me to not have YouTube TV. It really is not. Like, it's just not. It's not that big a deal.
You remember the par 3 at Glenmore?
Yeah. The first one or which one?
The third hole.
Yeah.
I had a dream I had a hole-in-one on that hole last night. And the funny thing is, it was with a 5-iron. This is how much I miss playing golf.
That's incredible, bro.
This is how I miss. This is a 100.
Can you imagine hitting a 5-iron on that hole, bro?
That's a 145-yard hole back in Salt Lake City by my house in Daybreak. And Jake and I always thought, okay, are we going to hit a pitching wedge here? No, I'm hitting a 50, bro. Lift some weights, fat ass, right? Like,
lift some weights, fat ass.
We were arguing. You're like, dude, I'm hitting a pitching wedge. What are you doing with a 5-iron?
My fucking ass.
And I hit that 5-iron and
you putter swing that 5-iron on that hole.
And that thing backspun and went right in the hole. And it was a great dream last night. Woke up, had to change the sheets. Monty, Google Rice U Stadium upgrades. They're fixing it up nice, connecting the Rice Village from Rice Stadium.
Hold on. Is this an Oak State James burner right here?
Yeah. What are you doing here, James?
Yeah. What the hell is this?
Huh.
You think we're not sniffing you out right here, bro? You're not doing this.
I'm not.
You're not doing this, bro.
Like, I don't care about the History Channel. I don't care about Real Housewives, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about TLC and 90 Day Fiance. Like, come on, seriously. One of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City lived down the street from me. It lives down the street from me in Daybreak. Don't care. Streaming American TV overseas is amazing because everyone uses Netflix to distribute internationally. Is that right? Is that right? Okay. I love rice. Me too. Rice pilaf is my favorite. You know, it's fine. Something else that isn't being talked about is the amount of commercial breaks and ads. It's so tiring. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is so tiring. So tiring.
Bro, I think we have an admission of guilt here.
Why do you say? What do you mean?
Look at this comment. He is admitting that this is a burner.
So this is Oak State James. Okay.
Wow.
Phil's Phi Slamma Jammas forever. Okay. So okay, James or Dana or whatever your name is.
Yeah, whoever.
Thanks for the membership, chat. Paxton, welcome to the membership, bud.
Oh,
good to see you, Paxton. Good to see you. Good to see you. Anyway, what do you make of Pat McAfee ripping ESPN again, Jake? Is this a thing? And I'll play the video first. I don't understand. Is Pat McAfee trying to get out of ESPN?
We're all done with it. Okay? We're all done with it. And also, if you're on TV, stop telling people to go to a website to save a multi-billion-dollar deal. Okay?
Oh, come on.
Nobody cares what you have to say. There will be nothing that we say or any website that'll be visited that'll get this thing. There are I'm going to say the exact names. But these people, let's put our swords though.
Yeah.
Let's put our swords out for the good of sports. Need each other. Need each other. A lot of people saying greedy corporate. It's like, yeah, need each other, especially with where sports are right now. And we're in the middle of it.
I don't understand what he's doing here. Why are you ripping ESPN again?
Because you're an asshole. That's why.
Do you think is he really just an asshole, or like again he's doing this?
He is opportunistically ripping ESPN. He is. Facts. Oh, there's a story. Let me go after him. Oh, yeah, Greeny and Stephen A. and Scott Van Pelt and all the boys at ESPN, Schefter, all tweeted and said on national TV. Go to whatever that website is. I don't remember the name, but go to this website to try to help get the deal done to prove that people are pissed about this, you know? And while in sentiment, I agree with the idea that going to that website's not going to do anything, that doesn't mean you take the opportunity to rip industry professionals that are on your team and help your show do what it does. Like it's incredible to me that the lack of professionalism out of the Pat McAfee show just continues every week, every month, every year. We just continue to allow this. And again, like, I don't know, maybe this is why I'm not a TV executive, but I'm just not, and maybe it's because, you know, I grew up, you know, in your mantra of doing things with a show of like, hey, like, you know, you got to have structure. You know, you got to know what you're talking about. Like, it's not just show up and just kind of turn the thing on type deal. But I just kind of feel like that's what they do. Like, you're literally ripping the very network of people who are providing you access and giving you a platform to put all these people on your show. Like, you wouldn't be doing all of this. Aaron Rodgers and Nick Saban and all these relationships that you've been able to cultivate are not possible without all the people who are already at ESPN. Yet you think you're above it. I'm sick and tired of it, dude. The guy's not a hero. He's not some phenomenon in the industry.
We make it possible for him. All of us who watch Pat's show on a daily basis, that's who he's taking for granted. Now, the people who pay him and employ him, they're not being taken for granted. They're enabling him because they're not doing anything about it. And I think that's the biggest problem. And yeah, Geoff, he rips them because he believes he doesn't need them and can do whatever he wants. Is he wrong, though?
He's above it.
He might not be wrong, because who's going to stop him?
Well, no, listen, though. It is true he can do whatever he wants, but where Pat goes wrong is thinking that it's better for him as a businessman to not be on ESPN. You are incorrect. It is not true that Pat just on YouTube and nowhere else is better than Pat on ESPN and on YouTube and getting both audiences. There's no metric, no logic, no argument to be made that being on ESPN helps you making. I mean, what are they paying him? Aren't they paying him like some ridiculous amount of money?
They're paying him $1 trillion a year, like Elon.
I thought it was like 50 or whatever it was. He got a $50 million contract.
It's a stupid amount of money.
Yeah, like a ridiculous amount of money to do what he does. And I got to tell you, I enjoy the contribution most weeks on game day. I think he does a good job. I have not watched the Pat McAfee show in over a year at this point.
Really?
Not interested.
What do you watch during the day?
Most of the time now, I just listen to music while I do what I do. Sometimes I watch Rome, but even lately, I found myself needing a break. Like, it's just not, and I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm nitpicky. I don't know. I just don't feel like.
Which is okay.
Yeah, I mean,
But you've never been a Pat guy. You used to watch it all the time. I used to force Jake to watch it, and he fucking hates that show. And I think you're like a lot of people that I know who just never got into it. But yeah, you know what, Geoff? That's exactly right. Game Day McAfee is unmatched.
I agree with that.
Really good.
Game Day McAfee beats the absolute piss out of anything Fox is doing.
Yes.
And that's Pat's value, in my opinion.
And I do think he thinks he's untouchable, much like Paxton, who's been a member of the show for 3 months. Hook him, boy. Hey, boy.
Yeah, I hope it improves for you, brother.
Hook him, boy. Hook him. Yeah, let's hope you guys win out or you won't. Yeah, I think ESPN is a vital part of the ethos. We need it. ESPN.
But they're suffering from the LeBron effect, right? Where
sure.
it's like, oh, well, hey, you're so good. Like, I'm a firm believer, and I'm not even a LeBron guy. I'm a firm believer the guy should have like 8 to 10 MVPs. Like, no question about it. Best player in the league for how long? And yet can't get a sniff. It's always been Giannis or, I love my guy KD, but KD, whoever you want to point to. This is the issue for ESPN, is that they've been such a juggernaut and they've been such an industry leader that we just take for granted what ESPN does. Do you understand that things like the Masters and all the one-off programming didn't used to be on ESPN? Like, they've added golf to their bag.
And they're so good at
They're really good at, like, dude, I can't tell you how excited, how much of a difference it makes in my day when I can flip on ESPN and golf is on and it's warm out and the sun's out and, like, dude, it's vibes. But we just take that for granted now, apparently. So
yeah, ESPN is really good at what they do. Pat McAfee's really good at what he does, but he's not different than Antonio Brown. I feel like he's this guy and he's flamed everywhere he's been. And he's a phenomenal talent who's really entertaining. And then, like, I'm watching the other day and JJ Watt's ripping ESPN on his show. And Aaron Rodgers is ripping ESPN on his show all those years. And it's no different than Barstool. It's no different than FanDuel. It's no different than everywhere he's been where it's just not good enough and I need the next thing.
Yep.
And I want the next thing. And I feel like that's where he is now. It's this thing where ESPN is really good at what they do, but it's not good enough. And I want the next thing. And, Around the Horn was really good.
Yep.
I loved it. Pat is probably a very great guy, but he has to tone it down.
That's not what people say.
No, he's you hear all the stories about how difficult he is to work with.
Now, I'm not going to sit here and proclaim to know him personally because I don't. Never met the guy in my life. But I'm just telling you what people say.
Yeah. Yeah, totally agree. Absolutely, totally agree. 100%. Jake is jealous that he can't take off his shirt all over the place like Pat. Jake is jealous.
Dude, Geoff, bro, one of the best moments on game day this year was the Miami jump off the diving board thing that Pat did. That was incredible, dude.
The field goal thing, the stand on the desk this past week and take your shirt off thing. He's game day's better because of him and Saban. There's no doubt about that.
Yes.
It's tough to watch the Pat McAfee show for me. And I was a daily watcher, and I cannot.
But why did that change for you? Is it just because of what he's done in this realm, or is it just that? Is it the show itself, or is it that you're annoyed with his behavior?
The bullshit. I'm annoyed with the noise. I'm annoyed with the.
Yeah.
And Pat talks sports like I talk sports. Like, he's a common dude. But he just does not strike me as a nice guy. He does not strike me as a guy that I want to be in business with. Do you want to play around at golf with him? Sure. Not really. I want to play 9 with him, not 18.
Certainly.
That's what he strikes me as, right? Like,
and all of you golfers will know exactly what that means.
I mean, I love him on game day. That pool jump thing you're talking about was awesome.
Incredible.
Awesome. Yeah. I don't want Rex Ryan to coach my team. I want to listen to him talk about football.
Yeah.
Right?
Rex Ryan on a heater on Get Up is hilarious.
Yes.
Like, you lack all credibility with some of the stuff you say, but I'm here for your dumb takes. Like, it's funny.
Yeah, I know. I'm always right. That was a serious jump too. Good grief.
Yeah, that was no slouch of a jump he did. I mean, that was the highest level.
AJ Hawk is painful.
Yeah.
AJ Hawk is painful. There's no doubt about it. Jake, how's Zepbound going for you, dude?
It's going fine, man. I mean, much to your enjoyment, I'm sure. No side effects of any kind. I've been struggling to drink enough water the last 2 days for whatever random reason.
Bro, I drank 100 ounces yesterday and pissed all night long.
Yeah,
Like,
I've been
all night long, dude. Like every 2 hours, all night long. I think. Well, how many ounces you try to drink daily?
80. 2 canteens. I have this 40-ounce canteen. I try to drink 2 of them.
See, and I use the 20-ounce metal.
Yeah.
I think 80 is probably the right number. 100 just. But then you know what? I had plateaued last week. This week I've lost 3 pounds already.
Yeah. Well, and I got back on the supplement train too with like vitamins and all that. I've been got a 5-day heater here, so that's been making me pee too. And so it's just
you taking the creatine? Like, what are you supplementing?
No, just like cholesterol and ubiquinol and
I'm telling you right now,
you know.
There was a new study released about creatine and the function of creatine in your entire body. It's fascinating.
Yeah, well, I'm in the same boat that you were, though. It's not even that I'm trying to avoid it. I just, there are, again, it's the breakfast thing. Like some days I want breakfast and some days I really don't want breakfast at all.
We changed the delivery mechanism in my house now for creatine.
What did you do?
We take it with emergency in the morning.
Yeah, that's smart.
We get that vitamin C boost.
Yeah, but what are you doing? You doing, what would that be? 5 grams?
5 grams in the morning. And I try to find 5 more during the day, but it's hard to do. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I do
I don't dispute the benefit.
I take that scoop.
Yeah.
And I would tell you guys again, get the creatine, buckedup.com, use the promo code Monty. It's so good for you. I take a big heaping scoop and pour it into a glass of water with emergency. And it's great.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. The Monty Show, as always, presented by our good friends at The Advocates, theadvocates.com. Tomorrow on the show, a full BYU Texas Tech review.
Only BYU.
Yeah, that's right. This is a BYU show now.
Oh, by the way, good job shaming BYU today. Great work. Some of your best work as always. Thank you.
Joseph, I apologize. A full Bear Bachmeyer Hater Fest tomorrow on the show.
Such as in like.
Till tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.